We're gonna go live, and we will fix everything live while we let people filter into the stream.
Welcome to the Fix-It Show.
What am I gonna do without my combat cheat sheet? I mean, come on.
Combat cheat sheet. Wait, yours
You just
is
can't
broken?
fight.
Yeah,
it's like bugged through the tray.
You have to figure out a way to fix things without fighting.
Let me move all
There
my
you go.
dice off.
Okay, you move your dice. All right, you put them in a thing. I'm gonna fix
I
this.
did.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. CaptainShack here. I'm here fixing everything because these guys, you people. All right, so just the combat sheet. Unlocking.
Yep.
Copying. If I repaste this, it might fix it.
Nope.
Nope.
No, no go. The cheat sheet.
I see combat, and that's all. It's just all it says is combat.
Maybe if I edit the size and import it again.
Hey, that did it. That did it.
Now is everybody else's broken?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course they are. Okay, hang on. Of course they are. Customize. So
Tabletop Simulator is wonderful when it works, and when it doesn't, it's interesting.
welcome back to Edge of the Empire, everybody. I'm just increasing your guys' combat character sheet thickness. That's how I'm fixing this. It's ridiculous.
It works.
We are finally back after a hiatus of how long has it been?
5 weeks.
Forever.
Forever.
It feels like forever.
I'm on my third cup of coffee, so
Oh wow.
Cree has been juicing.
It's the Jawa juice all over again.
Java juice Java.
Oh,
Java! Sound like one of the gremlins.
Oh, we're so doomed.
Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be real
Java
good.
Juice brand Java.
Okay.
Teeny.
We're not sponsored by Jawa juice. Just throwing that out there.
Not yet.
Not yet. We would like
working
to
on
throw
it.
that out.
First, we have to make Java Juice a thing, and then we can be sponsored by it.
Armco now selling Jawa juice.
You don't want to
brand
know where the juice comes
Java
from.
Juice.
may not be made from real Jawa.
No Jawas were harmed in the making of this product.
We hope.
We
As far as you could prove.
Maybe.
we think.
Okay.
As far as the marketing goes.
Is there anything? Oh wait, combat
Free trade
ranges
Java.
were broken, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
This thing was broken. All right, we're gonna increase its thickness as well. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to the Edge of the Empire stream, episode something.
Eight.
Five.
Five.
Five. Oh, good grief! And now we're getting like a stream error message because raisins.
Yay.
Let us know,
raisins.
stream, if everything is doing okay. This is the series where sometimes we play a tabletop RPG in the Star Wars universe created by Fantasy Flight Games. It's called Edge of the Empire. There are 3 core rule books. If you want to play this, you can do this online like we're doing it through Tabletop Simulator, but you do need the rule books. And I recommend even some of the expansion books. There's a lot of cool stuff in those, but you need those. We're using Tabletop Simulator, though, so we can play because we are all over the world playing. Right, guys?
I'm just
Oh
downstairs.
yeah. We're all over the place.
Oh,
Way to ruin my
over the
point.
pond.
Yep.
Way to ruin my point. So let's go around the table.
Tabby, for a matter of fact, could be in the same room, but
I could be, but I'm not.
Potentially could be. We actually briefly discussed setting up like a camera and having miniatures and then making you guys like play through laptops, but that would be really, really difficult. I just want miniatures. That's all I really want.
He does. I've got a whole bunch from my other game. And he's so jealous.
no. See, you don't need to. You do not need to feed my miniature lust because holy crap! Have you seen some of the places that you can order like custom miniatures from? Like
Yes.
The ones where you can shape them and make them your
Yes.
character from D&D. Yes, I have, and they've
Yes.
even got sci-fi ones now. But I'm not a
I
player.
know.
I'm a GM.
Yeah.
Oh, Kentios' little mini over here isn't working. It's
Oh, yeah, that's
broken.
What?
Get the broken flag out.
I was like all proud of that as soon as we loaded it up. I PNG'd it. It was amazing. All right.
It's
does look
fantastic, but it's
amazing.
not working now.
And now it's broken.
Then again, I can't touch any of
What
these.
if I make it bigger?
He's done.
I've locked it.
Terry Johnson wants to know if it's possible to get Armco tank tops.
I don't know if they have those through the thing. Did it fix it?
Yes. I can now move him.
You can move him, but
Well,
can you
just have
see
to,
him?
You have to unlock
No,
it.
we
Oh,
can't see.
I was always able to see him.
No, I can't see it.
Oh, I've just
He was
locked
just
them so you guys couldn't mess around with them because
Yeah.
you're all grabby hands.
Oh.
Anyways, let's get back into the story.
Of course, we're all grabbing
And
But-
yeah, I don't know, Harry, about those Armco tank tops. So for everybody who donates for the rest of the stream, I will run through all of the donations at the break, which should be about our half point, just so we don't break character all the time and people don't get distracted. So keep that in mind. I'm not ignoring you guys. But
We
let's
are
go ahead.
easily distracted.
Oh, trust me, our characters
So-
are broken enough as it is. We don't need to add a fourth wall violation and all that.
Oh my goodness, so true. All right, so let's go around the table and talk about. Actually, no, let's do the recap. Who's up? I believe it's you, Blitz.
Oh no.
Come on, it's not like we
Worst
haven't played this in a
work
month
for
and a half.
recap
Do you know what?
ever.
I've got this covered.
Okay,
I've got this covered.
hit us, sir. What happened last
Richard.
time?
I would like a request though. Can you start this a long time ago in a stream very far away?
See, I was going to do that because I've actually got the top of my notes.
Ah, darn it.
See, now you spoiled it, Tex. See, I don't want to do it now. All right, so
Ruined.
picture everyone. Ranger sitting in a bar, many years into the future, telling us this story to some sort of boring onlookers that just like listening to him for no real reason.
Making a lot of assumptions here that you're gonna live through this episode, but okay.
Of course he is. So you want to know what happened that day? That long time ago. I think I blacked out or something. I can't remember. We were celebrating something over that time. I remember wrapping up at the end when we killed probably the majority of the Squill Kings in the cantina. We met Roland. Roland, nice guy. Nice guy. I believe he worked for someone called the Runners or something like that. Well, we got his contact info. Nice guy. Had a little gonk droid with him. We found more information about Deadlock, our latest target. We believe that he is the one we should be going after. We found out he works for the Grey Blades, something. I don't know, that strange symbol we keep seeing everywhere, the skull with the sword through. Doesn't make any sense. Of course, we arrived back into town after, of course, myself, new jetpack and new jump pack and all, with ease, getting up to the cliff face. Easy. Easy it was, I promise. We went back into town after a short journey back. We had to spend some time in the back to tanks. Me and Kantios, a bit injured, a bit beaten up, but we got through it. I believe Vic and Cree went off to some sort of a computer station to go send some emails. Cree never told us. I can't remember what she told us she was sending. We never found out. But Vic said he sent this email up to his friend called Adam Smith. No, I don't know this Adam Smith, so I trust Vic. We had to go meet someone at what was it? The Fallen Star. That was it. The Fallen Star Casino. The High Rollers table. Meet a contact. It was very confusing at the time, but it makes sense. I promise. Just bear with me. The Fallen Star we found out was owned by Lady Valeria, one of the big crime lords. Kind of freaky. Apparently, she went up against the Huts once, but that's a story for another time. That night afterwards, we got a call from the Grey Blades. Kree answered it. And they captured Graham. Graham from Mos Takai. You remember me speaking of him earlier. They captured him, kidnapped him. That Lewis Ty, the one we released from the Squill Kings. We got to go to Building 17, Warehouse District 2. They said we had 3 days to bring Deadlock to them. They just want this Deadlock. But more on that later. That was the day. I remember this day now. That was the day I got my first set, my armor back, my gauntlets, my father's armor. Finally found it. I got it back again. That was a good day. It was nice to feel those gauntlets in my hands again. They're very helpful. Merchantman at the time, very helpful. Of course, I was very nice to him at the time. Of course I was. Put me in contact with someone called Tortain Vitor, or something like that. A special supplier down in Anchorage. So, of course, I'll have to tell you more about that later, but that was the contact he gave me. So, we all go along to this, the casino, the Fallen Star. For some reason, kid Kentios disappeared on us. We never truly understood why, but
Like the night.
like the nights.
At 10 in the
So
morning.
At 10 in the morning.
so me and Creed decided to hang back while Vic went to the high rollers table, and that was pretty much what I remember from that time. Can't remember what happened next,
All
but I guess we'll
right.
find out.
So we return. We're going to actually do something a little bit different. We're going to go a little bit back in time. So at the very end of the last episode, we had Valtane Ricard, a rebel contact that Vic had met inside the High Rollers area, an empty area, sitting at the bar, had a conversation with him, and that conversation was cut short, and that was the very end of our episode. But we're going to roll back the clock a few minutes as you guys are just now walking into the casino, all right? So this is the, oh my goodness, what's it called? The Fallen Star. So you're walking into the Fallen Star Hotel and Casino. It's a fairly large building, multiple floors. It is half a starship that looks like has been kind of either crashed or landed, and then a building kind of built onto the side of it. It towers kind of over the rest of the city. As you guys have walked in, you've dropped off many of your weapons into a crate and been given a key back, and you get to the main entrance, and out now you're looking at the large open casino floor. Now onto the left-hand side was the High Rollers table, where Vic and Cantio sneakily followed Vic into the High Rollers area, and that's where that conversation had happened. But we're going to roll back a little bit to Ranger now and Cree walking into the casino and seeing all of these tables and games, slot machines that are laid out in front of you. As you look up, you see multiple floors above you. It looks like almost like a semicircular large room. Then you can look up at these multiple floors above you, and you see lots of doors, and you realize that that's the hotel part of the hotel and casino, the upper floors. They all go up to a skylight at the very top of it with a chandelier that hangs down. Kind of gaudy, even for the hotel space. But as for most buildings in Tatooine, this one's actually quite nice. The interior has had a lot of money and resources put into it because it is a major income source for the Valerians. All right, so you guys have just walked in. You're looking over all of the games. Vic has already left and gone towards the High Rollers area. It is, middle of the afternoon now, so even though the High Rollers area isn't very, very busy, the large casino section is very busy. People are playing different table games, rolling dice. You hear cheering in the background. You see people pulling those slot machines and a lot of games that you don't actually recognize. And in the slightly farther in the back, more center back area is a bunch of Pazak tables as well. So,
How many floors do we see above us?
you look up and you see 3 floors above you with these like balcony areas. There's where they're like hallways, but they're half height walls. People could actually like look over and see the casino below from coming just out of their rooms. There are spattered a couple of windows on the 3rd floor from where you are now. Yeah, that's what you see above you.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, Curry, while we wait, I mean, fancy a quick go on the tables?
I've never gambled before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's many choices of tables. What types of tables are there?
What kind of tables
What kind
are
of
there?
games do you know?
Can
you teach me?
Are you asking the GM what kind of tables there are?
Yeah, what type of tables are there for play?
Okay, so you see a couple of what look like craps tables. You see a handful of Pazak tables, which would be this world's version of
Blackjack.
Blackjack, yeah, there you go. A collection of those. You see what would look like the Star Wars version of poker in one area, and then rows and rows of slot machines of different varieties and sizes. Yeah.
Well, how about we just go, let's start simple. The slot machines.
Okay. Can I flag down a passing worker person and get a drink?
Sure. So as you're walking over to the slot machines and you see all kinds of different colors and sounds, and some of them have digital displays and some of them are mechanical, a well-groomed, well-dressed man, younger man, because starting to walk by, you can see that he's got a tray in his hand, and you flag him down. It's like, "Ah, can I help you, ma'am?"
Yes, do you carry Java juice? Java?
We do indeed.
I would love some.
One
No,
coming
sorry,
right
sir.
up.
No, sorry. Can I just get you? No, sorry, sir. Not today. She's driving today. I can't have her.
Oh,
know.
I
Exactly,
assure you,
I mean-
it's non-alcoholic, and he kind of just walks off. It's just like
damn it.
an opportunity to get some money out of someone. They don't stop.
You sort of like you sort of get a glance from Ranger, like, you know what this stuff does to you.
so what game are we playing?
Oh god. Oh, why did I do this? All right, let's just go on the slots.
So you head over to the slot
All
machines
right.
and take a seat. They are ridiculously, over the top, loud. Which ones are you drawn toward? Like the really loud, obnoxious ones with the digital displays, or some of the more intricate, like metal carved in ones?
I want to go towards the biggest one with the most flashing lights.
Okay, so you go past 1, 2, 3 rows of different slot machines, and now you're getting farther away from the main entrance, and you finally come to the most obnoxious-looking slot machine you can find. It's about 4 times the size of all the ones around it. It's got a huge number of credits that has actually been, like, in lights printed above it. It's got a huge handle that's, like, quarter the size of yourself that you've got to pull down, and it's got a few seats in front of it.
All right, I'm going to
Just
Sit
sit down.
down.
Chair.
I settle myself into the chair.
Okay.
Oh, I'll just watch. I'll watch for.
So what do I do? I kind of look over
Well-
my shoulder.
I'm going to assume this machine takes credits direct.
Yes, it does.
Just put your credit in this slot here and pull the lever.
Okay.
And
Just
if
one
you
credit?
win, yeah. How many credits is it?
It's a variety of credits. So the more you put in, the more you could potentially get back. And then as you pull the lever down, this is one of those machines where you have to smack a variety of symbols, and the symbols that you see in front of you are different, crudely drawn versions of a Jawa's face, like an angry one, a happy one, a sad one, and then just like a confused one. And you have to choose one of those as everything spins to win.
Hey, that angry one looks identity.
All right, I will put in 5 credits.
Okay. So you put in 5 credits, and now you have to pull the lever, and so you put 5 credits in, you pull the lever, and everything begins to spin, and the noise is just ridiculously loud, and it
It's
makes
fantastic.
some of them you assume are fairly offensive, like Jawa sounds that somebody just like recorded and then like blew up.
Mm-hmm.
No idea what the words actually mean. And what do you do?
I'm gonna push the button that looks like Unti.
Okay, slap the button that looks like Unti. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. For this one, what is skullduggery? Is it's Constitution? It's cunning. All right, go ahead.
Streetwise, isn't it? Oh.
Cunning. Yeah, go ahead and roll for streetwise.
Okay.
Just a dumb luck roll. So let's see what you get.
Streetwise or skullduggery? Because they're
you.
different for me.
Make this one a streetwise.
Okay, so take away a setback.
Okay.
Pretty please.
Yep. I'm just rolling to see if you get higher than the difficulty chance.
What button to roll? R?
Yeah, R.
Yeah, R,
I
yeah.
think, isn't it? It's been so long. Bear with us, guys. We're relearning how to play this game.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Not bad
Okay.
for the first roll.
Not bad. So, a few of the lights blink. It's not a huge win, but you do end up winning, and you get 50 credits back. And they all kind of
Oh,
drop in the little tray in front of you.
sweet. All right.
Speaking of rolling, do we need to roll our force die again?
Oh, for the pool?
Oh, yeah, for the pool. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh. Rolling.
2 dark sides for the GM.
2 light for Vic.
Okay.
1 light for Ranger.
Uh-huh.
And 3 light for Creed. Because I get 1
Seriously?
automatically.
Got a
Wow.
dark.
Wow, and the GM is the only one that rolled 2 dark sides. Okay.
I got a dark. I got a dark.
And you,
No,
oh, you
and
got a
one
dark.
for Canios.
Visor got a dark.
Okay, so we'll just drop one of those there,
Ooh.
and boop.
Boo.
Good grief, look at that line.
Dark side.
So
I think we need one more light side, don't we?
no, I added one already.
Yeah, but we were already short one for Tabby, and then you just flipped one of the other whites.
Wow.
As if this is
That
a
is a
ridiculous
lot of
enough
light
list,
side.
but okay, there we go. Lots of light side. Light side for days. So, you've now won. Credits have dropped into the little bin below you. And at this time, your drink arrives. Here you go, madam. That'll be 2 credits.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm going to drop 5 credits.
Okay. He takes it. Thank you very much. And he wanders off. You now have your Java Juice.
Oh boy.
Sort of remembering Vic's words of Cree at the computer place. Ranger's eyes like widen, watching the drink get transferred from the waiter to Cree's hands. Cree,
Hmm?
careful. Sip. Have a sip.
You're no fun.
Behind you, you hear a bunch of cheering. Ah! Somebody is one fairly big on one of the slot machines. And ding, 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 ding. You can hear all the credits hitting the tray.
Did you want to give it a try, Ranger?
I'll give it a go. Yeah, sure.
All right, so I get up. I still have my drink, and I collect my credits.
Hey, how much did you win?
50!
Well, hey. I'm gonna slip in 10 credits.
10
into the machine.
credits. Okay.
10 credits into the machine. I give the lever a good pull.
What'd you get?
I shall roll. Was it Skullduggery we agreed on?
Yeah.
Streetwise.
No, was it Streetwise?
Streetwise!
Yeah, it's
Don't
Streetwise.
think it matters for me either way. So.
Skullduggery would be if you wanted to cheat.
Yes.
Which.
I would kick the machine. One success, one advantage.
All right. So you pull the lever. It starts to spin. Which one do you hit?
I'll hit the confused job.
All right. You hit the confused Jawa, and then the slots start. And all you got was a bunch of sad Jawas. And womp, 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 womp. This little sound effect plays. It's pretty depressing, and you win nothing. And it just takes your money.
Just like the old days, I never
Alright.
win on these things.
While he is playing, I'm gonna sip my juice, my Jawa juice Java, and I want to use 4C. I want to see if I
great.
can. I want to see if I can see which one is gonna pop up next.
All right.
Drunk fourth user. What's
So
Wow.
go ahead and make your
Forced
roll.
Cheating. Holy crap.
Also take 2 conflict for this.
Oh.
All right,
So mark your conflict and
1 light side.
1 light side. So you close your eyes, sipping your drink, and from the outside, if anybody was actually trying to look underneath your hooded robe, they would just see somebody like enjoying their drink. Actually, they wouldn't say anything because you wear things over your eyes.
I
'cause they
wore
kn-
a hood and
You have no
yeah,
facial
goggles.
expressions to anyone. Okay. So you're sipping on your Java juice and you start to focus on what you're trying to focus on is the games in front of you, but with your lack of that kind of minute control over the force, your mind kind of starts to push farther and forward, and you start to hear winning, and the victory behind you kind of combines with what you start to foresee, which is screaming, yelling, panic. You start to see in a rush, you start to see a bit of fear. You see the glow of red. You see let's
Do I see where this red glow is?
no, it's
Or is it
more
just
like
like a
a
red glow?
red glow in a dark background. You see a bit of a with that red glow, it suddenly gets shifted like almost like a visual wipe with nothing but sand and dust. The sand actually hurts and stings, and then you open your eyes.
Ranger sort of turns around on the swivel chair and is, well, that's not really, and sort of sees like creature standing there. So, are you alright?
What? Yeah, I'm fine. All fine here.
You sure?
Yeah, let's walk up towards the front again. Maybe we'll try a different game.
And with
No,
that,
let's
you
go.
hear what sounds like a detonation or an explosion that ripples out. And let's fade back to where we ended the last episode. All right. So, Vic, you've been enjoying your drink and discussing with this new
My
companion. of
ion
yours.
blaster.
Ion blaster.
Yeah,
while,
Blaster.
while sitting there next to an older gentleman, gray hair, black jacket, and you've come to learn that this man is a representative of in some kind of the Rebel Alliance. He's your contact. You had just asked a particular question about how can the Rebel Alliance possibly help one of your companions that it seems like individuals are after, the Keldor.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out what their interest is in the Keldor, our companion.
And before that answer came, Valtain has looked up and he's looking over at the bartender. He's noticed that his drink, his very first drink, has not been refilled. He looks over at the bartender, who's got his back toward him, cleaning out a glass, the same glass, and not paying attention. He says, John, my glass is still empty. And with that, Valtain hears a click and a spin. And in an instant, you feel a grab at the back of your collar, Vic. And for a second, you're not sure what's going on. And you start to reach out for the table to stop yourself. And then you realize it's Valtain, and he's now trying to pull you off the bar stool. Do you let it happen?
Yes.
You let it happen, and with a boom, you hit on your back onto the ground. And before, the air is blown out of your lungs, but before you have a chance to say anything, a ripple of gunfire blasts out from an unknown location on your right-hand side. In a moment, a peaceful room turns into just pure hell. Bolts rain, red glows flash out. You hear the impacts of glass exploding. The walls are taking rounds. The tables and chairs next to you, the booths, are being ripped to pieces. I want to see a roll from Cantios for a... let's take... Gotta get back into it. Let me get a vigilance roll from you, Cantios, who is sitting currently with his back turned toward Vic, trying to listen in as much as he can on the conversation, who has actually snuck into the room with him.
3 advantage.
You got 3 advantage. Okay.
Great successful roll.
Great start.
At least they weren't blank.
2 threat, but you didn't actually succeed, so...
I imagine he just doesn't actually hear the explosions.
What?
All right, I've got to roll for an attack now. So bear with me for a minute. We will be relearning how to play this a bit today. Because it's been so long.
5 weeks ago.
Back in my day.
So,
5 weeks ago, this would have been much better. Just trust me on this.
all right.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just won some credits at a slot machine.
Excellent.
Okay.
The explosion scared you, and you dropped.
Yeah, I dropped my drink.
Okay, so he fails at the ability that he was trying to use, but with that, okay. You're pulled off of your bar stool and you hit the ground on your back, and with the dive, Valtain was coming down with you, but as he falls to the ground, he actually manages to take a round from what ends up being this Gatling weapon that an individual is holding behind one of the paper walls that are used as decoration on the far side of the High Rollers table. He takes 10 damage with no soak.
Man, he's not doing much protecting, is he?
He has soak. It just didn't matter. As this blast hits him hard, definitely hits him in the chest, blows through that side of like that lower area just underneath his ribs. There's quite a bit of blood now pouring out, and he is on death's doorstep from just a quick glance at him. He hits the ground, boom, next to you, Vic. On your guys, between you and your assailant is a couple of booths and tables that are being blown to pieces as this Gatling cannon rips through. You hear the impacts from behind the bar that sounds like flesh and blaster bolts. You hear a quick, oh! And then a thud. The bolts continue to make their way across. Cantios, you have this rain of fire coming down. The bolts do seem to pass by and don't actually hit you, but you're still sitting in the booth now, kind of shocked. What do you do?
Oldly and Tatooine. I kick the table down.
Kick the table over, using it for cover? You got it. You're sitting at a booth. There's a table in front of you. The rounds are coming in from the left-hand side. They've spread all the way around you. You've seen from the corner of your eye what's happened with Vic and Valtane. You didn't notice that Valtane actually took the hit, though. What do you do?
I'm gonna give covering fire, I suppose.
Oh, that's right. You have your weapons on you. Okay, so you're still gonna continue to sit in the booth, or?
No, I guess I'll just. I kicked down the table. I'm gonna just give covering fire from where I am, or can I see?
Okay, so you kick over the table and you want to see what's going. You try to see what's going on in between all the blasts and shots, and you can't really see who's firing. You can kind of get the direction as it's in the process of like firing through this fake paper wall in front of the person who is doing this. You can see the silhouette of the individual, and you just see the flashes going off. Actually, go ahead and roll a perception check. Let's see if you manage to see in all this what's going on. This is all happening at one time, by the way. This is a matter of mere seconds.
3 success, 3 advantage.
Okay. Well, even with the flashes of light and the bolts going off, you do manage to get a glance from one of the mirrors behind the bar, and you do see the bartender just bolts rain into him as he collapses down. There's blood splattered against one of the mirrors, but through the mirror you can see a white-clad individual holding a large rotating kind of Gatling weapon, and you immediately know this is some kind of Imperial stormtrooper. You see the one thing that kind of ticks your brain just for a mere moment is the fact that he's got these red highlighted stripes on like the rebreather parts of the mask, the helmet. And you've never seen that in an Imperial Stormtrooper before. The rest of his armor, though, is pure white. The cannon itself is blasting through, just trying to hit anything in the area with these red bolts that are flying out. You kick over the table, you jump behind it, you pull out your blaster, ready for combat. We'll use that perception check as your initial reaction. Okay, let's do a... Actually, no, we're not going to go full on into combat just yet, because you're the only one that's actually seen what's happening. Vic, you're on the ground now. You imagine... actually, you have no idea what's going on. You just know that there are bolts everywhere, and Valtane's been hit. What do you want to do?
It looks like he's in pretty bad shape, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you look over at him, and he's like clenching, and he's looking down at his side, trying to figure out what's going on. The round is blown through his blaster armored jacket that he had worn and into his side, and you can see the blood's like starting to creep its way up into his shirt. He's in bad shape.
Shit.
He looks at you, and he looks at his wound, and he looks back up at you. It's like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Here, take this first. Vic pulls. Gonna use a incidental. Is it incidental to pull out a stim pack or a movement?
What did we
I don't
decide?
think you're in combat yet.
You're not in combat yet, though. So you kind of reach down and yeah.
Pull a stim pack out of my belt and shove it into his other shoulder. Take this.
Oh,
Let's get out of here.
Thanks. Oh, wait. There's and he kind of like points up with one finger toward not the direction that you guys came from, the other direction, toward the back of the room. He's like, "There's a back exit that way," or there's a back door that way. And he points back.
Yeah, but I got friends the other way.
And that's when you both take a glance back toward the other door, and we're going to shift perspectives now to Tabby. Not to Tabby, sorry, to Kree and to Ranger. It's going to take me a minute to get back into this. And you guys enjoying your gambling, sipping on your drink, and an explosion that you heard was a bolt of energy ripping through the wall where your friend had entered, that wall that is shared between the main casino and the high rollers table. And then another bolt, and they're about the size of a softball. And you can see a little bit of like flame and smoke coming out of it. These bolts rip through into the crowd, into the casino. And that's when just panic. The casino goes crazy.
Mm-hmm. I'll look over at Ranger. Like, think we need to go help?
We need to get our weapons first.
You both
No
jump
good
out of
on
your
beings
chairs.
like this.
Look toward the doors, and you see 4 white-clad armored stormtroopers, marching through the main entrance where you had come from. One of them...
Is the security room, like, side off from the entrance?
It is in a hallway. where you came from. So you went through the main doors. It was a hallway where the security area is, and like a waiting area. And then that hallway continues to the main entrance area, which is where you see these troopers marching through now. One of the troopers points toward the high rollers area, and you see them kind of turn toward that direction, start marching that way. And then as you're looking past, you can actually see another set of 4 troopers marching in behind them. And
Okay. I'm going to get on comms. We still have those, yeah?
you still have your comps, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, I'm going to tell Vic to get out of there. Don't come back the way you came. You've got real nasty looking company coming your way.
Roger that. Grab my stuff if you can. I'm gonna try to get out the back way.
We got this, Vic. Get out the back way. Right away. You got 8 troopers coming up your ear.
Oh, good. Yeah.
You don't that.
All right.
Fantastic. I'll lay down some covering fire.
Beltane, let's get out of here.
He's still clutching his side, even with the, what was that, 5 for a stem pack that it heals?
Yeah.
He's still hurting. He's still really hurting. But we
Do I need to pick him up and carry him?
Yeah, you're probably gonna need to give him a hand. So he's trying to clench it, and he's starting to like roll over and get on and start to get onto his feet. And at this point, you can hear the crunching, heavy footfalls of what you can assume from the direction of the bolts came from. The individual who just opened fire is starting to make his way over, and you can hear his comlink kick off. You can't hear what's said, but you do hear the response, which is. Target is down, sweeping the room. And you can hear that in that stormtrooper radio effect noise, right? Requesting assistance. And you can hear the as he's kind of walking towards you.
Roger that. All right, Beltane, we got to go now. Vic is going to pick him up, throw him over his shoulder, and hightail it for that back door that he pointed out.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. This won't be for combat initiative just yet, since you're not engaging, you're running. Just roll to see if you manage to react faster than he does. So let's do a... What would that be for initiative rolls? It's vigilance, and then it's...
Cool.
Cool.
Yep.
Roll against his...
That would be a cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, roll. We're going to do a roll against his cool. So you roll cool, he'll roll cool, and let's see who can react faster. Because he can't see you. You guys aren't in line of sight. There's just debris and tables and shit all over the place.
Okay. That looks like a success. You want me to re-roll this one?
If it's cocked, re-roll it, yeah.
Okay.
And then... Cantios, you're about to open fire from your perspective. You have 1 success.
I was almost 2 and 1.
Yep, almost.
All right, so this is going to happen at the exact same time. Cantios, nobody's aware of where you're at this time, but you're going to open fire to give covering fire. And you see Vic grabbing Beltane and getting him ready to run. What are you going to do? You see this trooper now. He's walked over and he's actually like pushed over that fake wall that was in the way, and it's come crashing to the side. And he's got this Gatling cannon is now. It's across the room. You're behind a table. What do you do?
Is it just him right now?
It is just him right now. You can hear the footfalls from outside and the screaming from the people out in the area. You've actually heard the radio call from your friends at this point.
All right. With my carbine, actually, I'm going to take the carbine off my back, or the rifle. Sorry.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire at him, lay covering fire down.
All right. So, hoping to, I'm guessing to stall them.
Yeah.
Best
I can.
So you pull out your carbine. You've got cover. Vic makes his run towards the door. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
2 success and 1 advantage.
How much damage do you do with your carbine?
9 damage plus the 2 success is 11 damage.
All right, so you fire a few rounds off. You can see that a few of them hit that perfect angle on the Stormtrooper armor and ping off the sides, but one of them definitely manages to sink in, throwing his aim off from this Gatling weapon that he has, and he kind of like reels it back a bit and pulls the trigger as a spray of rounds go into the roof. Valtane and Vic get up their stuff, and they make a bolt for what you can now see is this back exit way. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to start moving towards the exit.
Okay, so you're following in behind them.
Yeah.
So you guys
While
go.
still laying down fire.
You guys go running out. Let's go back into the casino now. These stormtroopers have managed to make their way up the first floor, make their way up towards the door to the entranceway, just as Vic, Valtane, a lot of V's, and Cantios just scoot out this back exit door. It ends up being a storage area with a long hallway. But you guys inside the casino see these stormtroopers like getting ready to breach the door, basically lining up on the sides. One of them just starts to move in. You see another 4 stormtroopers coming through the main entranceway of the casino, and then you see the last individual walk in. And this individual, roll a perception check, both of you guys inside the casino.
Alright, perception.
Where the hell is blind as a bat?
How do I do this?
Where is it? There it is.
How does this work?
Can you tell it's been a while?
Oops, I got 2 success for Ranger.
Okay.
Alright, let's see.
This is to see if you
2
recognize this
advantage
man.
and a triumph.
Hey.
Ooh.
2 advantage and a triumph. Okay, well, you both managed to have this instant bit of recognition that the individual that you see in the back is actually wearing a gray cloth uniform, the Imperial officer hat, and it is Lieutenant Fields. You saw him in a hologram at Mos K, giving basically an ultimatum to Graham at one point. And you, though, Kree, recognize bits of his uniform as a ISB officer. You can see him giving orders, pointing out. He's spread the 4 troops in front of him to stop anyone from escaping through the front door. A couple of blasts go off, stunning a few of the civilians that are trying to make a run for just any exit they can find in the chaos and the panic. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, quick, out of character. What's an ISB officer?
That is
Imperial Intelligence.
Imperial Surveillance Bureau or something like that.
You guys are getting close. Security, Internal Security Bureau.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are the guys that
So what do they look for? Like, what are they?
ISB officers.
Like, if I know what an ISB officer is, what is he here looking for? Do I know?
I don't know if you
Like,
would.
what general?
You get a better
what do
look
they
at the
usually look
uniform. You get a look at the uniform and you recognize the uniform just is different. Your character doesn't actually know what it means, but you do notice that you've seen Imperial officers before, you've seen lieutenants before, you kind of get the idea of what they're supposed to look like. His, though, is just Imperial Security Bureau, is what it is. But you don't necessarily know exactly what that means for you. You do get a little bit of a chill up your spine.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I quickly look over to Korea and go, we know what we don't want to engage here. Definitely not. We want to just get past them, get to our weapon boxes.
I don't
and
know
then
if we're gonna be able to
make a
get
plan
back
from there.
that way. I don't think they're letting
If we-
people leave.
Can we see people running out, like past them? Like,
Everyone
just
who's
random.
tried to make a run to it, you've seen a couple run up there. 2 humans, a male and a female, tried to make a run for like around the side to see if they can just they're not involved here, they don't need to be here, and immediately get stun blasted by a few of the Imperial stormtroopers. You do see the shimmer from the glass from outside the outer doors from here that you're not sure. There might be civilians. They may be more Imperial troopers out there. There's a lot of movement going on outside the casino. Looking this direction, what else do you see? You see a Rodian tries to make his way around the right-hand side, and there's not even a stun blast. A stormtrooper just shoots him.
All
Yeah,
right.
not going
They're
out that
shooting
way.
aliens. They're shooting aliens. Keeping
I
humans.
pull my hood tighter down around my face.
Let's
Just kind
double
of a
back. We
nervous
need to
tick.
get away from this route and pull back away from it. So what I'm thinking is we pull back away from where they're walking, kind of just dropping back.
What do you think? We go up?
Oh, I don't think up, because that's where they're going, because they're going up the stairs.
Well, no, I meant I kind of gesture to the hotel area above us. Get off the floor.
You're right, we need to get off this floor. We can try it. I don't see, looking around, is there any other exits I can clearly see? Maybe like a fire exit or like any other exits?
Looking around the room, it's hard for a minute to see a lot. Let's actually go ahead and do a perception check just to see what kind of detail that you do see. You do see like there's people running everywhere and there's a lot of screaming going on.
A success and a 2 advantage.
Oh, 2 threats here, so you get the success. So you do see the elevator section that's kind of to the back right from the entranceway. You notice that there are a few of the same guards that you saw when you first walked into the casino, standing, looking just as confused and bewildered, if not running around screaming like the rest of the population. They're sitting there with their weapons kind of down, looking around, not sure how to respond. They've got their purple sashes on and the armor underneath. They're well armed. They've now drawn their weapons, but these are Imperial soldiers. What should we be doing here? They're guarding the elevators. There is a stairwell door. You see like an emergency exit toward the back, but there's also another 2 guards standing there. And those are the only 2 real exits that you see. You see a bar section in one area. You see, yeah, that's what the room looks like.
We got a choice. We could either go with your route and go up, or we can go for that fire exit, gesturing to the guards guarding the one fire escape. So we either go up, hope to find a way out, but we could get stuck up there, or we go straight for the fire exit and figure out a way to deal with them guards.
Okay.
Now, is there anything you could do with... And you see rangers sort of gesture with double hands, shaking them.
Jazz hands?
Because we had the conversation.
Yeah.
Hotel room, so I briefly understand.
As this conversation is going on, you now see those shapes that you were seeing outside the doors are another squad of stormtroopers now making their way in.
Yeah, we're not getting out the front.
Can I make a quick, I don't know, I guess this would be skullduggery or underworld or something, to see if I can tell if those guards by the fire exit are, you know, bribable?
If they're
they look
bribable?
bribable?
You can... From your conversations with Roland and from your experiences on the planet, you can try to glean some information using your knowledge of the underworld.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Whether or not they're bribable, I don't know how one would know that from just looking at a person, but we can...
Oh, some
can
people just look bribable.
That man looks bribable.
Well, how do you look bribed? Never mind. I'm just going to roll.
Take
Look
2
at his
step back
coat.
away from my underworld roll, please.
Okay, well. Was it 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, well, that's a nice ability to have.
2 success, 3 advantage.
Wow. Okay, well. Do they look bribable? How does GM answer that? All right, so you you see these 2. You know why they were hired. These are large, like, bruiser fellas. One of them has a helmet on. You can't see what species it is. The other one's a human, big fella, like 7.5 feet tall, just huge dude. And they look like they're paid well. Like they're paid well. They like their jobs. They're well dressed for being like combat ready yet inside a casino. If that makes any sense, right? They've got these purple markings on them, and they're more just like. They're looking around at the chaos, not sure how to respond. Like, there may not be a standing order on how to deal with. Troublemakers is one thing. Bandits, swoop bike gangs, you get a feeling that's what they're used to dealing with, and they can take out no problem. But Imperial soldiers is just a whole nother level of what?
Okay. Yeah, let's go try the guards, see if we can just get out of here.
I think I got something in mind. So we start sort of... let's go down this way. Just keep low, keep moving forward, keep next to the slot machines. Hopefully the troopers won't see us.
I'm pretty short. I think I'll be fine. All right, let's go.
Heading towards the door then.
The back door.
The back door
Yeah,
stairwell
the back door.
is what you're going towards. Okay, so you start making your way towards the back door. You're just walking straight up to these 2 guards?
What could I glean from them? Are they like quite scared? Are they do they look quite frightened, or are they completely like on guard, like stocked up, ready to fire, sort of?
The best way to describe their current look is nervous and confused. Nervous and confused, probably white-knuckling those rifles a bit as they're looking at the chaos in front of them, not sure how they should respond. Like, how would their boss want them to respond? And this is something that they probably never had this conversation about.
Well, let's whisper to Cree. We got two options in this.
Mm-hmm.
We could run at them and try and take them down, or we could walk out and try and convince them to let us pass. They look quite nervous. I think we could convince them out of fear.
Or they could just shoot us.
They could shoot us.
I can try talking to them. Just, pretend like we've got a room upstairs and we just want to get back to our room.
Another goes off as another individual is taken down who tried to charge the front doors. And as you guys are having this conversation, more and more civilians are having this exact same thought process go through their heads and are now trying to make a push toward the different exits. And you see, this conversation took a little bit in a moment of panic. You see the two guards walk over and they grab a bolt and they crack it shut on the door. And now you see them leveling their weapons out at the population pushing towards them, where whatever they do, they're going to hold their post. So now they're doubling down. So
well, I think we're not going to be subtle here. You have your jump jet?
Hmm.
Can you get one of those balconies?
Oh god. Oh god.
How
Cree.
how high are we talking in the center?
With a perfect, if you were able to just like nail it, you could go I would say that the skylight on top is within medium range, like the very cusp of medium range, and that jump jet can push you from short to medium range. So if everything went to plan, you could potentially get as far as the skylight. And then there's the different floors in between where you are and now. So, oh god.
Can he take me with him?
Yeah, there's also the problem.
You can try.
How about what floor is the high rollers table on? What floor is the high rollers table on?
You guys it's on the first floor.
It's on the first floor. So...
Yeah, you guys never went up any stairs or anything. Mostly it's the casinos on the first floor, and then the hotel bit is going upwards. And when you look up, you do see what is one wall is actually part of the old spaceship that they've kind of built off of. That goes up at an angle above you.
Ranger sort of gestures a little bit on his back, and well, there's this third option that you've just given me an idea for.
What? Do tell. We're running out of options here.
We could go one floor above the high rollers table. Second floor.
Second floor? Second floor is not this floor. I wholeheartedly agree.
All right. What are you going to do?
I'm going to prepare my jetpack, sort of look up and aim for the floor above the high rollers table, the high rollers level.
So
Okay.
just one
floor
floor
up.
above us.
All right.
Yeah, one floor. So it's one floor up. Yeah. So if you say the high rollers table's on the first
I think
floor.
we're all on the main level, and then
Yeah,
inside
ground
the
floor.
casino you get the balcony things.
Yeah, so that would be the first balcony level. So think of it like a hotel hallway, except for it's open air, and you can walk out of your room and look down into the casino below. And it's like a ring, and then the second floor is a ring that's tighter, and the third floor is a ring that's a little bit tighter.
Cree, do you trust me?
Yeah. Let's do this.
I open my left arm.
All right.
Can
I'll
I
grab
have a
on.
All
So
right.
I take aim as best possible. Now I believe we agreed that the role for my jetpack was planetary piloting, or was we going to go with athletics?
It was planetary piloting. So if you had a full jetpack, it would actually operate, and it's the rules for the book, as a vehicle. So, but because this is a jump pack, it is just you're kind of taking aim, figuring out what your thrust vector is, and then hitting the button. And you've only used this once. So last time I gave you 2 setbacks. This time I'm only going to give you 1 setback because this is the second time you've used it. Actually, I'm going to give you another setback due to passenger.
Well, that's okay. I'm going to use my touch of fate for this one, and you get 2 boost.
Oh,
for this.
Last time he used this jetpack,
Can-
just in case people forgot.
and also,
He's
I'm
Can
going
I?
to,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good.
I'm going to flip a light side point to upgrade my roll with the yellow.
Okay. You flipped only one or two?
Can you flip more than one? I thought you could just.
Okay,
flip
can you? Can
For,
you
a-
flip
for a
both?
roll, yeah, you can flip more than one.
Oh,
It's,
I'll
it's a
flip
resource
two.
for you guys to use, so... All right.
Yep, do it.
All right. Hang on. Grip on tight.
All right.
Make your roll.
Oh, all right.
1, 2, 3, success, 2 advantage.
Oh yes.
All right.
Uh,
So, with that, you take aim, grab Kree, kick off your jump pack you've only used one time before, and for a moment, you feel like it's going well. The jets fire off, and you feel that jolt of acceleration. It's a little bit more familiar, and you are more ready for it. And then you realize, there goes the first floor. And maybe you gave it just a little bit too much gas to make up for the extra weight. And she's not as heavy as you thought. There goes part of the third floor. And you get up there, but you're not going to make it all the way to the top. And you start to get to that peak moment where there's just no gravity for a minute, and you're starting to fall.
I'm going to grab out to the next railing, the next available railing.
All right, go ahead and make your...
With my grippy gloves as well for my climbing gear.
Yep, that's true. So make sure you take your
Absolutely.
boost for it. I would call this an athletics check, I think, to grab on and to hold on with the extra weight and to hold on to your companion. Are you doing anything to help with this roll, Kree?
I am bracing myself so I don't fall.
Okay,
So I do.
go ahead. This is all happening in mere moments. Quick conversation, and boom, you've flown far too high. You've started to fall. You're getting close to the second floor, actually, this would be 1, 2. This would be the third floor. You're trying to reach out for it, and
That is a 3 success and 3 advantage. A 4 advantage, sorry.
okay, you manage to you grab, and those gloves. Thankfully, you have those gloves hold you in place. But you did get some. What was your advantage?
It's actually 6. Sorry, I actually miscounted twice.
Okay, you have 4 extra advantage. So tell me, you do succeed. How does this play out? Tell me how it plays out.
So I'm going to grab on with both ledges. With my extra advantage, if possible, I'd like to use my second hand to throw Kree over the balcony and then flip myself over if possible, so we're both over the balcony.
Okay, so you flip them. You get both over the balcony. You're now on not the floor you were aiming for, but at least you're out of the immediate danger.
Just sort of lean back against the railing, heavy breathing.
Oh, that was fun. We should do that more often.
Ranger wide-eyed, looking great.
Tell me
Let's get going.
for just a moment. Do you still have your drink?
Do I?
Did you
I
were
mean,
holding
before
it when all this
advantage.
happened? You never.
I still have
ca-
my drink.
And with all the advantage, you still are holding on to the Java juice. I love it. Okay, let's flash back now to she's sipping on her drink there. Let's flash back now to Vic and Valtane. You've got him over you're like one arm over your shoulder. You guys are booking it. You've made it through this extra doorway. You heard the gunfire, and then you hear footsteps behind you. They're lighter than the ones that you heard a second ago. What do you do?
There are footsteps behind me.
Directly behind you, moving quickly. You heard a blast of fire, but surprisingly, you didn't get shot as you ran through that back exit. But you did notice that there's these really light footsteps behind you.
Footsteps.
Footsteps.
Okay. I'm gonna keep on running, but I'm gonna glance backwards.
Okay, as you glance quickly backwards, you see a small green humanoid chasing behind you, very quietly, but not quiet enough for you to not to notice. And it is your companion.
Oh,
Where to God,
hey,
Vic,
kid.
you hit me.
Hey, kid. Good seeing you here. We'll talk later.
All right, you guys are
Yeah,
running down this hallway. Oops, go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, talk later. What kind of companion you got that's bringing in the troopers?
We'll have to answer. We'll have to talk about that later. Hey, Valtane, you know a way out of here?
He's like, oh, yeah, keep going down the hall, and then take a right, and then your first left, and we'll come out the storage closet here.
Okay.
So and this is what you guys actually hear, the radio chatter behind you as the stormtroopers have now moved their way into the room you were just in, sweeping and clearing it out, and are starting to funnel right in behind you guys. You've now made it around to one of the corners, starting to head down the next one, and you, boom, open up a door, and you're in a kind of like a back hallway, probably where some of the cheaper hotel rooms are, shoved in the back. Valtain's now looking real rough. It's like, that way! And he starts pulling up his arm for a comm link, and he's trying to tap it, but you can see he's fairly weak now, and he's having trouble hitting the keys to clip it on. You guys just gonna keep running?
Hey, he looks like I did.
He's rough.
He looks like I did when I took that last shot.
Valtain, we got any backup outside here? Come on.
Yeah, and he kicks on his comm link, and he's like, Wolf 2, this has gone terribly wrong. And you hear the crackle of the radio come on. It's like, yeah, we've noticed the traffic. What's going on down there? And he starts to try to update somebody on what's happening, that it was an ambush, that he's been wounded, and they're trying to get to Rendezvous Mark II. Besh is actually what he says. This is Rendezvous Mark Besh. We'll be there shortly. We may need cover. So there may be some kind of plan. You're not quite aware. As you make your way around another corner, you hear a bunch of footsteps coming in now from in front of you, and you're in a hallway full of hotel rooms. You can see the hotel doors with, the numbers plastered on the sides of them, room 112, 113, 114. But you can now hear the echoes of booted footsteps running down, probably around the corner and down the hall from you. What do you do?
That doesn't sound like you, kid. I look at the doors near us, see if maybe in the hotel rooms or.
I'm gonna shoot the door down.
No.
Well, your companion, in the moment that you've stopped now, and you're looking
under our new rule of if you say it, the GM is going to go with it.
The GM's going to go with it.
I looked at Vic and I said this.
You said that. Okay, so I'm going to shoot the door down. Wait, you pull your weapon and start aiming toward one of the hotel doors?
What do you mean, no? Got any better ideas?
Yeah.
Got some rope or something?
Rope. Does it... I'm going to look at the door real quick. Does it look like something I could maybe push through or no?
It's a shut, hotel door. You can try. It's got a keypad.
Okay. I'm going to try and see if I can maybe access the keypad real quick.
I'm going to look at him like, you know what? I can just block him with this door. Get out of my way.
What do you want to do? Time's of the essence.
I'm hacking the keypad.
Okay, you pull it. You set Valtain kind of up against the wall. Oh, come on, hurry up! He pulls his blaster out with one hand, and he kind of sort of aims it down the hallway. As you bust out your data pad, you plug into this key control pad. Go ahead and do your. This is actually a hack, so you're going to be using computers to do this.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Two success.
And as you're trying to hack into it, 4 failures. You hear this, and suddenly blaster fire starts coming in from the right hand, the hallway you were running down. A couple of the rounds pass by. It seems to be a fairly sporadic because Valtain has started to fire down the hallway with his blaster to keep them pinned down.
Okay, Plan B, blast it.
Gotcha.
Roll your attack. Doors, defeated by doors.
Always. 1 success.
Okay, so that's all you needed. You fire at, what are you shooting at? What are you hoping to happen? Tell us how it goes.
I'm shooting the doorknob.
You blast away at the doorknob where it just disintegrates after 3 or 4 rounds, and you can see the door is cracked itself open now. There's nothing really holding it in place.
And I kick it in.
Vic's going to go through that door.
Okay, Vic goes through the door, and that last of that doorknob just kind of disintegrates. It is an empty hotel room, set up, a bed, a holonet viewer, and not much else, except there is a single window that the room has. And when you look out that window, Valtane is now currently still firing as he's trying to make his way in through the door at the stormtroopers that he could hear coming. He's not actually shooting at them, just in the general direction. You have a window. Now, the window doesn't look out at anything but a wall about 4 feet out. It's one of those, like, they put a window and then they built something outside of it. But there is a space there.
Okay. Oh. Open the window up.
Okay, you open the window.
Stick my head out. See if it's like if there's an alleyway there, or if it's just a dead end.
So you stick your head out, quickly opening it up. Valtane's kind of like rushing you on as he's holding his sign, saying, "Come on, let's get out of here. This really wasn't part of the plan, the evac plan." You look to your left and you see the wall in front of you is actually metal, and it's that smooth metallic, you recognize it instantly as a spaceship hull, an older one. And now you realize where you're at inside the hotel room. This is that juncture in between the original Fallen Star ship that they landed here and the hotel kind of building that they have built alongside it. You're at the bottom section where the two buildings don't actually connect. You see pipes and tubes. You see a bit of steam coming out. This is that the piping area that they've kind of hidden in between these two buildings. You see that the ship itself has many rusted sections on it, and you are, even though you're on the first floor, this metallic building canyon actually goes down what looks like 2 floors into darkness, and you can't actually see the bottom section. There are no lights in this space.
Okay, well, got no choice. I'm gonna take out my rope. I'm gonna tie it off to something like a desk, or if there's anything nearby. I think you said there was like an entertainment unit or something.
Yeah, there was a holo viewer. So you're tying it to that. All right.
Yep.
There's like a
And
pipe.
then
There's
I'm
like a
gonna drop
metal
it out
tube
the
on
window
it.
and say, "All right, we can't stay here."
You've got to be kidding me, Valtane says as he kind of like hobbles up toward you.
You got a better idea? Not quick. Start climbing.
As you say, do you have a better idea? He pulls out one fragmentation grenade and pulls the pin on it as he starts to climb down and says, "We should really hurry," and throws it out the hallway door, bouncing it off the wall into the area out there.
Oh, okay.
And he slides down into the darkness to the side of him.
Come on, kid.
Cantios had a flash grenade in his hand, looking at him like he stole my idea.
Vic's gonna grab the rope and wrap it around his around his back real quick, and he's just gonna slide down the rope.
Okay, you slide down, no problem. I know your athletics are high enough for this. It's not gonna be an issue. Cantios?
He's gonna grab the rope. He's gonna have like a Vietnam flashback of the cliff, the non-rope.
As you're going down the rope, the grenade goes off. Go ahead and roll a
I hate this rope.
coordination.
I hate this rope so much.
In the hallway, the grenade goes off, detonating. You can feel the wind kind of blow out, and that's the second you like have to grab onto the rope real fast as you were just making your way out the window.
Okay, so I have -1 to setback.
No, you said -1. So.
And I got 2 success, 1 advantage.
So Vic has already gone down the rope. He just slides down it quickly. So you've kind of lost sight of him into the darkness below. You succeeded. Tell us how it goes.
I'm gonna quickly grab the rope again if the grenade goes off. I'm just gonna curse to myself like, "This goddamn rope. I hate this goddamn rope." I'm just gonna continue to slide down.
All right, and you slide down. All right, switching back to our friends on the
Third floor.
third floor. What's going on?
I'd like to look around for any other hotel like rooms and any other what's around me, I guess, is a better question.
Okay, so you can look over the railing and you can see the chaos that is down below. You can hear a few more stun shots going out, but it starts to get quieter now as it seems like the stormtroopers are starting to take control of the situation a bit more. You see around down the hallway, you see lots of hotel rooms, and you see a set of elevators. Those elevators down below, this is where they would have ended up top. At the moment, there's nobody up there. There is also a doorway to the stairwell, emergency stairwell, that you saw down below.
I say we go up and out.
Definitely. Up and out.
All right, stairs.
Let's go have that emergency stairwell.
Okay.
Okay, you guys make your way over to the emergency stairwell. The door for the route through is open. You open that up, and you see that the stairs do actually go up, kind of winding upwards.
Okay.
Let's head on up.
We're gonna go up.
As you're making your way up, you roll a perception check.
2 success.
Three success, 2 advantage.
Okay, you 2 advantage. Nice.
2 advantage. Yes.
You do, as you're making your way up the steps. There's this really light. You can't really feel it other than in the railing that you're kind of holding onto as you're running up. But there's this light vibration, and it's consistent. It's this doom, 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 doom. It's like vibration. You're not quite sure what that is. But
Does
it feels
it feel
like
mechanical, or does it feel like footsteps?
it feels mechanical and it feels bassy, right? Like it's something that's it's shaking. The whole building is feeling it, but you feel it. Both of you feel it as you're grabbing onto the rail. You feel it in the railing, like the railing that's embedded into the ground, into the concrete, the curicrete. All right, so you continue to make your way up. As you get to the top floor, the door is locked. At the very last door at the top, it is locked, a dead end.
I'd like to attempt to shoulder barge it open.
Okay, go ahead and do a... What would this be? I guess this would be an athletics.
Bonus for sort of having my mountaineering gear, having the proper grip on the handle, ready to push onto the actual door.
How does gripping the handle help you shoulder check the door?
If you think about it, I'm getting a good grip on the door. I'm not going to slip.
All right, go ahead and I'll give you that one with a kind of a rolling eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you shoulder check the door.
Give me that bonus. Rolling. 1, 2, 3, 3 success, 2, 4, 5 advantage.
And you hit the door. Nothing happens other than your shoulders kind of hurting now from the impact.
Ow. Okay, this is not getting open.
All right, I've been hanging out with Vic, so I'm going to take a look at the door and see if there's any sort of mechanical way we could take it apart to get out.
Okay, so...
Like hinges, if we can like remove pins or something like that.
Is there a button?
I have to ask you, do you have a toolkit with you? That if you found something, you would be able to... This is going to change the difficulty of being able to open this with mechanics, basically. Okay.
No.
Setback.
I have my
Setback.
my
Do.
staff.
Is there actually? Can I have a quick look around for like any actual? Is there a button? Maybe it's an emergency release button or any form of like.
Wait, what you see
Sorry.
is this like emergency door with a mechanical lock on it.
Mechanical.
Yeah, it's just a simple mechanical lock. And all right, go ahead and roll your mechanics check.
All right, hold on. Gotta move dice around.
With setbacks for not having the proper tools. And for everybody at home, keep in mind, they don't have their weapons on them. They gave those up when they walked in.
3 success and 2 advantage.
I had my weapons on me.
Yeah, I've still got my staff, but...
All right, tell us how you opened this door.
All right.
Wow.
So, what I'm seeing is that it's got the pins for the hinge. So the door would open in towards us. I'm going to take my staff, and I'm going to kind of like tap the pins out to release it from the frame.
Okay. So
You have no idea how proud of you I am right now.
this actually manages to work to Ranger's shock, and the door falls off the hinges outwards, and you're instantly hit with the shining suns at the moment because it's probably about like 1:30 in the afternoon as you make your way through the doorway.
To Ranger Shock is like, well, you've been spending some time around Vic, haven't you?
Yeah, he's just got such a infectious personality.
Well, however it happens, door's open. Great work. Let's keep moving.
All right, you make your way forward into the blinding heat or blinding suns and the horrific heat of Tatoonine. You are now on the rooftop of the tallest building in Mos Espa, in the middle of town.
Is there any
In
emergency
fact,
ladders down, or anything, any form to how to get down?
Looking around, there's no ladders. What you see is this. For the most part, the roof is square as it's tiered, but the back end of it, you notice, is that back bit of the starship that builds up. And
So it's angled, so is it like a slide down?
well, it is angled. Whether or not it's a slide is up to the, I guess, the viewer. It is at a fairly steep angle, and there are bits and bobs of the starship hull that kind of jut out of it. Some of them are smooth, some of them are not so smooth, like pipes and bits and pieces. Some of it has been actually rusted away. It's been sitting for so long. You see the bits of what used to be starship engines kind of sticking out of one side, but it does look like a route that I guess you could consider sliding down, but not without great risk. Below,
Does it angle towards the front or away from the front that the stormtroopers were coming in?
away. This is actually the back end of the building.
Okay, gotcha.
You would have to
I
look
could
over
set
the.
up a...
By the way, so you're looking around the rooftop looking for an exit. As you look over to the front half, you see now 2 Imperial ground armored transports that have their bays open. You imagine that's where those stormtroopers may have come from. And now you see the familiar vibration of an Imperial walker down there, an ATST. And its head, like kind of looking over the crowd as some people manage to like back away and they're kind of cordoning off the area.
Ooh.
As
Glad
Well,
we
they
didn't
came
try
out
the
of
front
force.
door.
Vic's contact must have been someone important.
as you,
Maybe they were.
oh, go ahead, sir.
If they were after Vic, don't know who else they're after.
Well, we can figure out who they're after we get on the floor, on the ground again.
Could I take a perception check at maybe an area where I could sort of set up my climbing gear to help us rappel down this slope so we don't get hurt on the way down.
I'm so proud. Go ahead
Jump? No.
and make a perception roll.
No. No, I'm gonna, while
One
he's looking
success, one
around for
fail.
this, I'm gonna kind of be like half paying attention to the doorway behind us to make sure I'm going to be vigilant about the doorway behind us,
Okay,
so we're not surprised by anything.
gotcha. So you're keeping an eye on that door. What was your roll?
1 success, 1 advantage.
1 success and 1 advantage. So looking over quickly, because you know your time's of the essence here. You're looking over each one of the sides. One side was the main entranceway, which we already described. Another side next to that is it is a straight down almost cliffside of buildings where you see the rooms. This is probably the rooms with the best view of the city. So probably where like your high rollers would be at, where your higher ups, high to do would be. It's fairly sheer. There are places that you could hook onto. The top of the roof actually has lots of piping and metal pieces that would be very easy to latch some climbing gear to. The back end is where the starship portion of this building is at. There are some places you could hook lanyards to. The last side actually has a couple of like neighboring buildings that are near to it, and these buildings kind of wrap their way around this side and the starship side. This has probably the least amount of cover of about 2 floors before you reach the first building's roof down there of a separate. It's not part of the casino. It's actually a different building. And then those buildings kind of continue on into the city around, and you lose sight of what's below the starship side, because there's like starship components and stuff that kind of jut out and in the way. But you could rappel from either one of those 2 sides.
So it's pretty much where we've
3
got
sides.
buildings one side or sheer drop one side.
Yeah. Or the slidey starship component D side.
I quickly respond to Kree about different options we have. What do you think? I'm thinking the starship sloped side, gesturing down to the area I'm
Yeah,
suggesting.
I mean that's the
safest.
If something happens, that's the one that's gonna be least likely to kill us immediately.
All right, give me a minute. I'll start setting up my gear for rappelling.
Okay.
So I quickly set up my climbing gear onto the most secure point I can, preferably non-rusted or non-damaged, somewhere nice, secure. I test it, give it a good pull, make sure it's not going to come up, and set up the two sets for rappelling.
All right, so you guys are ready to start your rappel down. And are you going down, like, is it, are you helping her go down? Or are you going down at the same time, like side by side, on the same kind of rope setup? This is one at a time kind of thing?
I think...
Do you want me to just hang on like before?
I think side by side due to the nature of time.
Okay, so now you've locked on your climbing gear, and you're both awkwardly trying to like lean back and then off the rope, looking down. You're going down the starship section, so you've kind of got that gradient, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of a walk downwards.
Okay, so it takes a minute to kind of climb up a bit of the part of the hull of the starship, but you kind of get up there. Now you can see the route down, the different bits of the starship components that are kind of jutting out, and you're starting to lean back and letting the tension of the rope take hold, so you can like lean into it. And for you, Kree, have you ever done anything like this as a character before? Rappelling?
I've fallen off of a lot of things. I don't think I've ever successfully done anything like this.
Good stuff. So we will come back to this, going to our other our other heroes currently. You guys have been running now in the darkness. Is there any type of light?
Just a second. Sorry, out of character. I'll be right back.
Okay, well we're gonna continue with these guys.
Yeah.
All right, so
Vic's got his scanner goggles that help him see in the dark.
Not like the darkness in the daytime, anyway.
indeed.
And yeah. Kantios is the dark.
He's the darkness. So who's taking point on this run?
What's underneath the ship here, or are we underneath the landing pad for the ship, or are we? You
guys are now about a floor underground. You've started to make your way. The only drill direction that you feel like you can go, kind of pushing your way around pipes and like steam vents in this area, and it's getting tighter and tighter as you go. What order are you moving in?
Well, he doesn't like it, but Kantios is going to take point, because Vic's got to carry the wounded contact.
And you can see in the dark, right?
No.
You can't see in the dark.
All.
Okay, so you've kind of like moseyed your way up front. You're much smaller than I think the rest of everybody down here. You guys start making your way through with Kantios in the front. Every once in a while, you hear a stubbed toe or a wham, because there's almost no light out here, and Kantios has decided to lead you guys through. Unless you have a light source.
I have a flash grenade.
That seems like a poor choice.
I don't think...
As you make your way through, you find Vic. You would just see this, and you stop. I would hope you'd stop. You see a ladder that leads upwards, and you see a little bit of light shimmering.
Hey, Kit. Got a ladder here.
Oh, fantastic. Another climbing mechanism.
Beltane, can you climb?
Yeah, I should be all right. I should be good.
All right, Kid, you want to pop your head up real quick? I'll climb up behind Beltane, help him up.
Sure. I'll take point again, just in case my head gets shot. Be sure to catch my body.
You are the only armed one here.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna climb the ladder.
Okay, you're climbing.
Actually, I'm the only unarmed one here, to come to think of it.
You have 4.
Hey, Kid, you got a blaster you can loan me for a second?
He looks at his heavy blaster. He looks back at him. You better not lose this.
No. Thank you, Kid.
Hand him his heavy blaster.
All right. You want to give him the card so he knows what it does?
Yeah. You're lucky I'm heavily armed.
Oh, what happened?
The blast. I gave you
Dropped
the
off the table. Oh, there we go.
That's right here.
I think there's a little bit of lag on the tabletop sim.
Roger that.
So, okay, you've got your heavy blaster now.
Oh, it's a good kid. Good gun, kid. Good kid.
Yeah, I know it is. It's mine.
I know. All right.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna climb the ladder with the rifle on my shoulder.
Okay, you start climbing the ladder up. You can see now this little bit of light kind of filtering through. You're not sure what it's from, and you're farther down than you thought. You thought you only went down about a floor, and as you climb up farther and farther, you hit a grate that is blocking you from whatever the light source is that you can kind of see through this metal grate. The grate itself has like a deadbolt holding it shut. What's the holdup up there? Valtane yells up as you stop.
Hold your goddamn horses while you're bleeding to death.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. I'm gonna start lockpicking it.
Start lockpicking it? Okay. Let's go ahead and make your roll.
3 success, 1 advantage.
Well, that was a mute fail. Sorry.
I need concentration here, Vic.
Hey, it's dusty in down here.
Better not have sneezed on my blaster.
You managed to open the lock without any issues. In one-handed, quick succession, the lock comes off.
Alright, I'm just gonna push it open then. Being quite happy with myself.
As you push this open, there's an opening, a space, and you see that the light above looks like it's actually coming from a manhole cover of some kind.
Another cover? God.
As you're making your way into this new space, you're inside one of the Mos Espa sewers.
Oh,
Intha sewers,
Okay.
excuse me, Intha sewers.
fantastic.
The smell is
Sewer.
terrible, and the you can see that you're now in like a pipe, a really old and disgusting pipe.
The band that smelled better than this. Alright, get up here. If I'm gonna have to suffer this, you're gonna have to suffer this.
What an interesting smell you've discovered, Cantios.
This is gonna take weeks to get out of my coat.
Hey, look, at least we're on a desert planet. It means that nothing ever stays too wet. So if we were on a water planet, you know that this would be really bad. It's like the environmental systems on a...
Vic, I'm gonna shoot you, Vic. Stop.
Oh, all right, let's go. Hey, Valtane, you know anything about this? Any ideas where to go?
He's looking up at the manhole covers like, I have no idea where we're at. We had a plan for evac, but we didn't. I don't know where we're at. We've got to get an idea on what street we're on. He's kind of looking up at the manhole cover, kind of seeing that the lighting is changing up there a little bit, like something has gone in between the sun and the manhole cover for just a moment.
Okay. Vic's gonna go ahead and climb up and try and push up the manhole cover just a little bit so that he can peek out.
While this is going on, I'm gonna look over at Beltane and be like, "Your plans suck, you know that?"
Hey, all right, fair enough, fine. As he looks down at like the blood on his hand, he's just like, whatever. Yeah, you're right. You'll see, and you can see him like talking really lightly this time, really quietly into his comm link as everyone's looking up at this manhole cover. So you push
check to see if I can hear him.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and do the roll. You're doing this as Vic is like pushing this heavy metallic cover up and over, so there's this like horrible screeching noise while it's going on.
Yeah, only 2 success and 4 advantage.
All you hear is as this metal plate is moved. You taking a peek out?
Yep.
As you poke your head up, you're immediately greeted by a low-running speeder that comes right over you. And you realize that this is a street. And then for a moment, this of the foot of some type of large lizard-like creature lands almost in the opening that you've now created, just a foot off of it, and it's like passing above you fairly slowly. It's a busy street.
So you're saying I can see whether it's a boy alien or a girl alien?
In a couple seconds, yes, you could.
Okay. We're on a street. Come on.
Oh yeah, quick, come to the street. Is it a busy street? Tell us.
Yeah, it's a busy street. You want to debate while we're sitting here? Come
I wanna
on.
Get hit by a car?
Now that you've gotten a better look, as you guys are starting to make your way up, you can see that there's a dark alley that's fairly close to this. There is this large creature still like walking over you. You can hear like the honks and the beaks and a little bit of the noise of a crowd nearby. You guys all are making your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alleyway over across the way.
Oh, that rhymed.
So you get over to the darkened alleyway, a little bit of shade. There's
Put the
trash
manhole
piled
cover
up.
back as the last person comes out, so it's not obvious where we came out.
Okay, let's do a let me get a stealth check from everybody to see how quickly and quietly you guys get from getting out of a manhole cover in a busy street to getting into the
'Cause
alleyway.
if there's one thing that Vic is good at, it's at being stealthy.
Oh, I love this roll.
I am the Knight Junior.
All right, what is your knight's roll?
2 advantage, no success.
All right, I rolled 2 success, a triumph, and an advantage. I am the knight.
And day.
So what was the best roll?
2 success, a triumph, and an advantage.
Oh, I forgot to roll for Valtane. Wounded. And okay, so for one moment, you all are starting to climb out. Vic, you're helping them out of the tunnel, and what you don't see is as this you're staying low, so this large lizard-like creature starts to pass over you, and it was your cover for a second, and then in a moment you see the large hover truck transport that's like kind of blowing its way through the city streets because no one gives a shit on Tatooine about road safety. And if it wasn't for your 2 companions who grab you as you're putting the lid back on, you probably would have met the front end of that truck as they pull you into the alleyway just in time. And nobody seems to be the wiser as you all like settle down for a moment and take your breath inside this darkened alleyway.
Okay.
Come onto the street, he says. It'll be safe, he said.
You didn't want to be in the sewer. Now you're not in the sewer.
At least we're out of the
Valtane,
damn hotel.
I need to check on my friends, make sure they got out.
Yeah, you do that as he kind of taps onto his comm link and he kind of slumps down onto the ground for a second. You guys are surrounded by like trash and built up just crap that they're using this alleyway to store.
Valtane, any chance of a pickup from your friends here?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
And with that, you guys hear the screech of a TIE fighter fly over the street. And then 2 more over the whole street area, just kind of like flying in a patrol pattern now around the city.
Okay.
Great plan.
Oh, great.
Whoa. Things just got better. Hey, Ranger, Cree,
Go for Ranger.
we're outside.
Where are you? Whereabouts?
I don't know exactly what side of the building on. We managed to make it to an alleyway. Are you guys out?
Ranger looks up in the sky. Yeah, we're out.
You can see the TIE fighters now flying over the city, just passing over them. And
Hey, Ranger, I don't know if you know it, but I think there's some TIE fighters out here. So keep your head down.
And just seeing the open ground, like, yep, oh yep, we'll try. We're
There-
fine though. We're on our way down.
you guys are like leaning over the wall section right now as you're saying this, and those TIE fighters for you guys are eye level.
Oh.
They're not flying over
Oh.
so much eye level.
Oh yeah.
Are
And
they
the-
close enough to have noticed us?
That is a good question. Roll stealth check.
Oh.
Great question.
You just beat me to it. That was going to happen anyways. Because you guys are leaning off of a building right now. A building that they're all focused on.
Just inspecting the pipework.
Oops.
Oh
Wasn't in
god.
the
damn it.
roll.
They are like on the side of a starship, so it's
So
not
we're-
like it's smooth.
Can we have potentially like heard them coming and ducked behind one of these like outcroppings of starship junk?
At this time, you are tied on to the top of the building, and you are leaning off of it, just about to make your descent. So, if you could be more silhouetted at this point, you're at the highest point of the building. You couldn't be.
2 advantage.
For success.
Oh, rolling rolling is as good as ever, I see.
How many success, Roger?
4.
4 success.
4
Okay.
success.
So
At least like
Can I use my concealing robes to, make it harder to
that's
tell
only for identification.
to notice me? To
All right.
notice or recognize the wearer?
So with the 3 threat and the 3 failures,
1 success.
My cloak is flapping like a flag.
out of the 3 TIE fighters that passed by, only one of them saw a glimpse of something, and they're not quite sure what. And so he's ordered the rest of the squadron to route back. Your characters obviously don't know this, but you are concerned that they may have seen you as you kind of glanced over, and you guys can see like into the cockpit for just that briefest of seconds as you hear the scream of the TIE fighters flying by.
Kind of full knowing that we were possibly seen. Ranger called out the order of, "Okay, get behind some," because it's all parts jutting out, isn't it, of the old star freighter that landed.
Yeah, they're mostly
could we not
below
hide
you
behind one
at
of
this
them?
point, so you could try to rappel down and try to get behind one of them before they make their loop back.
We gotta move quickly. And sort of gesture to go and do exactly that. Hide, get down quicker, and get behind one of the starfighter parts just to hide.
Okay, so
All right, before I proceed down, I'm actually gonna take my cloak off, and I'm gonna like snag it on something, and then I'm gonna book it down.
Oh.
okay. Wait, so I'm sorry. Say that again.
see
Because
what you're
as
doing.
I saw them go by, my concealing robes are kind of flapping in the breeze.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, take a moment, take one hand off the rope, and
Oh,
hook the
Oh,
robes
God.
on, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna
I get what you're
fully
saying.
pay attention to
I
the
get it.
rope and move downwards.
All right, so go ahead and roll then. The first one's going to be to see if you can actually get into the position that you're hoping for. You look down, trying to rappel down, and you do see the jutting out of what was at one time probably the opening of a maneuvering thruster, and has now been salvaged and removed and sealed up so sand doesn't get into it. But you feel like that's your best bet for cover. It's going to be the closest thing, based on the time you have for them to cycle back. So go ahead and do that would be coordination check for a rappel. Yep.
Okay.
Do I get any bonuses for having my gear on?
Well, this is like straight climbing. So one, you're only able to do this because you have the gear. What's the bonus that the gear actually gives?
So the gear says grants the wearer. Oh no, it only says to athletics checks. It says grants the wearer 2 blues to all athletics skill checks made to climb or rappel.
Or to repel. Okay. We'll call this a repel check. We'll do athletics then. That's fine. Athletics or coordination, it is up to you. Since this is rappelling, I always think rappelling would be more about coordination, loosening your grip on the rope as you keep your footing and you kind of push off and slide down. So that says coordination with me. It's up to you, though, which one you use.
Alright, for me, I got 3 success and 4 advantage.
This is a bit of a rush, though, so that's going to give you a setback.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 2 success, 2 advantage.
Yay!
So you both
What?
success, and advantage. Okay, so, oh boy. So you both succeed. You both succeed in getting to the out-jutting thruster. That being said, trying to figure out how
Christ,
this.
thinking.
Yeah, because this is a despair was rolled.
Oh,
It's 2 threats at a despair, but you did succeed to get there. So you did manage to get there, but
there's a womp rat inside.
One of the ropes, I guess, so we can't use it.
one of the what breaks?
One of the ropes we were using to rappel doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Snap.
Let's
You
do.
really shouldn't give him ideas.
Let's actually do this. So as you
Doesn't
were
help.
as you're kind of rappelling down, you do everything works out fine except for at that very last moment, you kind of bounce off of each other a little bit because you're both using the same rope to rappel down, and a piece of gear falls out of your hand or falls off your set. Choose the gear. Who had the lowest roll? I think it was Ranger. Was it you?
Me.
You had the roll. Okay.
No, No, it's
choose a
free
piece of
success.
gear that falls off your belt or off of your pack and falls to the depths below.
Yeah, I guess it'll be my medical scanner. It's the bulkiest thing.
Okay, so your medical scanner starts dropping, and you can hear the metallic bangs as it starts banging off of all of the pieces of equipment and slides down the metallic hull of the ship. Now it's time to do your stealth roll to see if those TIE fighters have noticed you as they make their circle back around.
Do we get anything extra for being hidden? Because now we're actually hiding.
Yeah, it's an
In a
easier
sense of
roll.
being in the open ground. Oh, okay.
It's an easier, because you guys were, it was a really hard roll to not get spotted, and it was amazing that you rolled that well. So,
Yeah.
You
one
rolled.
failure, one failure,
on.
one threat.
What are we doing again?
Stealth roll.
Stealth.
Against the TIE fighters circling back around, because you guys are still way up there. This is just the first piece of cover that you managed to get to.
2 success and an advantage.
Nice.
But I left my
2
robe
success,
behind to
2
kind of like
advantage.
distract them.
Okay. So you left your robe up there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Where they
okay.
spotted me, where I was when I potentially may have been spotted, I kind of tied my robe to or like snagged it on something up there, and I left it behind.
Okay, good. Well, that's...
So when they come back, they think it's that.
Mm-hmm.
So as they come back around, the first TIE fighter, they know where to be looking
Clever.
now, and what they see is a piece of what looks like in the pilot's blind, just a piece of debris sitting on the top of the building, kind of blowing in the breeze. Eventually, it kind of detaches itself from whatever it was hooked on, and your robe flies off into the wind that you've now noticed is starting to pick up. The whole time you've been on Tatooine, the weather has just been hot and dry. You've never felt a breeze before, but suddenly up on top of this building, and you're not sure if it's just the
Oh.
elevation or what, but you're starting
I'm
to
gonna
feel
look
this
over.
picked up weather.
I'm gonna look over to Rangers. Like, I know this kind of wind. We're in for a storm.
A
We get this
sandstorm?
kind of weather all the time on Doran. Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
We want to get down then.
We need to get down. We need to go fast.
Okay, go ahead and get ready for your rolls for athletics to do the rest of the trip down. We're going to go back to our heroes that are on the ground right now in a dirty city street, not quite sure where they're at. So, Valtane looks over at you, Cantios, and Vic, and says, "Okay, I've got a safe house to the northeast side of town. If we can just get there, we can lay low for a while. I'm getting... Yeah, my team is saying that there are Imperials everywhere, and I'll be honest with you guys, they're not in the capture Valtane kind of mood. We probably want to split up as soon as we have the opportunity. I'm kill on sight."
That's what I meant by you gotta get to the safe house. We gotta get home.
And with that, you feel this slight rumble. Doof, 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 doof. What do you want to do?
I think we need to not stay around where we're at right now. Come on.
All right, you've got the busy street that you've just come from, and you have this alleyway that splits into 2 other alleyways, because it runs into like another building, and then the route splits off in 2 different directions, but you're not sure what's down there because you haven't been down there yet.
Okay. Do we know what direction they're running? Are they running? I mean, I'm gonna choose the one that runs away from the casino.
Okay. So the street itself is the farthest, like that's the direction completely away from the casino. The other route goes, going the other way down the alleyway does go back towards the casino, but then it splits off. So yeah, you've got one that goes kind of to the northwest-ish, so you can kind of like run down there. You get to the end of the alleyway, and one is blocked off kind of back towards the casino with just garbage and junk. The other way seems to be open. You can kind of see what looks like another street opening ahead, and you guys can start making your way towards that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start making your way towards that, and it's not as busy of a street. It's a smaller, kind of like a back street, but there are the occasional speeders going by. You see a couple of shops and people wandering around. And that's when you notice, let's go ahead and the two stormtroopers with these brown shoulder pads that are sitting at the kind of the corner of the street and walking briskly down the road your direction, but not straight toward the alleyway, just kind of walking down the road.
Is there anything to hide behind in the alleyway?
This alleyway has a couple of like old barrels and crates that you could try to dive behind.
Stormtroopers, hide.
Beltane kind of pushes himself up against one of the old pallets and kind of ducks down. All right. What do you do, Cantios?
Stealth myself.
You stealth yourself.
Vic tries to hide behind one of the Vic-sized barrels, if there are any, and starts mumbling to himself, "I am the night. I am the night. I am the night."
All right. So,
3 success, 2 advantage.
of course,
I am the night.
describe what you're hiding behind. Think of an alleyway in Tatooine.
I just imagined sandstone walls, but I'm just going to be hiding in the shadows.
The shadows. All right.
Of
So
the
you kind
sun.
of pull your cloak up of the sun. And let's see what does he have? 3. Gotta look at what his skills
Blaster
are.
at the ready, by the way.
I've got to see what Valtane's skill is. Excuse me.
Not very good, considering he's almost dead.
Yeah, that was his not being shot skill.
Yeah.
That's a skill. I want that skill.
Crap.
Where is that in the
What'd you
book?
get, Vic?
And that's a hidden stat. What did I get for what?
For your stealth roll.
Oh, before?
Just now. What did you roll?
Oh, I
for?
didn't roll yet.
Oh.
I didn't roll yet.
Yeah, go for it.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Oh, okay. So, as the stormtroopers make their way down, and they're kind of like at a brisk walk, almost a jog. They're looking down the alleyways, trying to hunt down what you assume would just be Valtane. And they look down your alleyway, and for a minute it looks like they're just going to keep walking on, and then they notice a couple drops of blood. These two stormtroopers now turn. One of them grabs the other's shoulder and points, and now they're starting to slowly make their way in your direction. What do you do? They're still in the road, by the way. They're in the sunlight, in the open, on this, like, walking across the road. Traffic's, like, honking at them and trying to, and having to go around them.
I'm going to wait for them to come into the alley.
Okay.
Vic's ready, has the blaster out, hiding behind the barrel, going, "I am the night. I am the night."
You guys are going to give them the chance to get closer. All
I don't want to shoot him in the road.
So they make it across the road, and they slow down their pace now, weapons at the ready. And they start to make their way around the corner. Now, the first person who ducked behind cover was Valtane, and that blood trail leads directly to him, and he's sitting behind a pallet, probably closest to the road, since everybody else took cover behind whatever they could find. And as they come into the alleyway, go ahead and roll for initiative.
For us, it would be cool or vigilance.
You guys are ready. It's going to be a cool versus cool, because they saw the blood, and you let them get closer without surprising them. So they're prepared for it. So it's going to be cool versus cool.
All right, I got 1.3.
Let's see what these guys have.
In my mind, I just thought, there's probably more stormtroopers on that road.
1.1.
Hang on 2 seconds. I'm rolling for the stormtroopers now.
Vic doesn't have a lot of cool.
No, that's actually... I gotta remember how to do vigilance. Or cool. Wow, neither do stormtroopers. Surprise, surprise.
They're not cool.
Not cool. Not Billy D type cool.
Okay, so... Vic, what'd you get?
1.1.
Okay. What'd you get, Cantios?
1.3.
Come on.
It was Cantios who shot first.
Oh,
It's always Cantios who shoots first.
beat to hell Valtane. We need to know what he's got.
Is that his full name?
That is now.
Hey, my name's Beat to Hell. That's name Velte.
Seriously, he doesn't have any cool names.
That's all I'm gonna call him. Mr. My plans suck.
He's a Rebel Alliance as well. He's
All
maintained all the
right.
plans.
So, as
Any
these two
bosses?
stormtroopers start making their way in, one of them kind of steps in front of the other to get around the pallet, and he gets just up to where Valtane is kind of like pushed himself up against the wall now, like at a half crouch. And the second they get around the corner, they are absolutely surprised by what was a half-dead individual that you all saw. He jumps out with his vibro knife in hand and tries to take a swing at him.
Oh, great. He's planning again.
Oh, come back here. Oh, yeah, nice. So that's... Once they get into engaged range, he reaches out, grabs the stormtrooper, and plunges the knife directly into his chest, pulling him back and grabbing the helmet. And you can see him like holding on to the helmet while he's trying to push this knife deeper and deeper into the stormtrooper. You can hear this gurgled. All right, that would bring us to Cantios.
Seeing this, I'm going to shoot the other stormtrooper not currently gurgling for his life.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll with your blaster.
I am also going to take aim. One success, 4 advantage.
1 success and 4 advantage. Okay, so you succeed. Tell us how it goes.
Alright, well, witnessing this, what I thought was a half-dead man kind of stabbing a stormtrooper, I then go, okay, guess it's time to go. Takes the blaster, aims, and shoots for the head of the other one.
All right, so you're firing at the other guy. How much damage do you do?
9 damage.
You do 9 damage. All right. So you fire off, and
Wait. Did he have any threats?
no.
Because if not, I crit.
Oh, okay. So you crit him, and you just kill him.
I'm like, wait, I just looked. I'm like, wait, crit of 3. I had 4 advantage.
As you
I-
pop up, you notice this is a stormtrooper that you've seen before, but it's got these red markings on its helmet that you haven't seen before. This is the first time for you. These strange like half circular markings on its helmet where the rebreather area is on the helmet. You pop up and you
No,
fire.
I saw that in the I saw that with the guy with the heavy blaster rifle thing. in,
Oh
the
right,
cantina.
with the Gatling cannon.
Gat-
I
Okay.
did see him.
So you see these guys have the same markings. You fire off a few rounds, and in the shock of seeing his companion just grabbed, pulled in, and stabbed in the chest, and trying to like pull the knife out, you blast this guy. He takes 2 rounds into the chest. That armor doesn't do anything for him, and collapses onto the ground. Valtane is still like struggling with this guy. The stormtrooper pushes him off and readies his E11. Blood just trickling down his armor. Let's see what he does. He's going to take a shot at him, and oh crap!
And Reltane's dead.
All right, let's go ahead, and he's got the adversary perk, so I actually have to make that more difficult. Okay, and he takes the hit for... It's a blaster rifle shot. Ooh. All right. Valtane takes 2 rounds
Now,
into the chest.
that was shooting with a blast rifle from engaged range, correct?
Oh, I didn't upgrade the difficulty for the shot because he's engaged. Good point.
Ding, ding, ding.
And that would be exactly what he needed. So the trooper in shock and in all like in extreme play of taking a vibro blade to the chest, fires off a few rounds, and they luckily miss Valtane, not killing him and burying those rounds into the back wall. Vic, you're up.
Vic is going to. I'm still at short range on this guy, correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, you gotta shoot him. Go ahead and you're using that heavy blaster that Cantios gave you?
I'm gonna aim.
Okay.
2 success, 2 advantage.
2 success, 2 advantage. All right, so you take a couple of shots, and they... Is it 2 success? Okay, yep, and you hit him. 1 shot is all it takes. From that range, you're easily able to put a bolt into his head, and the Stormtrooper collapses onto the ground. Valtane is looking pretty rough, and if those rounds would have hit him, you got a feeling that he'd just be done. At that range, that rifle would have killed him outright.
Okay.
So he kind of slaps his back to the wall again and kind of flops to the ground for a minute, just like, it's not my day.
No.
Really not my day. He reaches over and he grabs his vibro knife, still sticking out of the Stormtrooper, and pulls it out. And holsters it. For those that don't know, at engaged range, it is harder to hit somebody with a ranged weapon than it is at short range because you're in combat, so it's harder to get that shot because the weapon can be pushed away. And now you guys are sitting in this alleyway. 2 dead Stormtroopers. They may or may not have called in for backup. You can't tell with those helmets on. And I think this is the perfect time to take a break.
Nice.
Nice. Nice. Tensions are rising.
Yeah, take a nice break before Kree falls off a building.
Yay! At least you didn't get shot by a TIE fighter.
Yeah, that's true. I can fall back into the building we just got out of.
I view that as a win for you because you didn't have to review the vehicle combat versus person rules. And
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's always true because that's a whole bag of worms that I haven't even wanted to go back into. That's why I've got the book ready next to me. I'm good to go.
I missed my tank.
Right here.
I will be right back.
It's even
I'll
tabbed
be right back as well.
for all the rules. But yep, go ahead and take your breaks, guys. I will answer some questions and see here. Turtleful says, Tabby, you need to stop asking questions you don't want the answers to, Turtleful says.
I ask all the questions whether or not I want the answers. Come on now.
Crichton says, in a donation, thank you so much for the $5. What's going on? I am confused. Well, you got to watch the other episodes if you want to know what's going on. If you came in a little late, you're probably going to want to watch from the beginning. But basically, they've walked into a hotel room, or a hotel, shit's gone awry, and now the Empire is all over the place. Put it that way.
Basically, basic shenanigans on Tatooine. That's all.
Basic shenanigans. People are talking about wanting to fight the Stormtroopers. How do you think that fight would have gone?
I'd be dead.
You think so? There was only
Yeah.
like 8 of them.
Yeah, I'd be dead. My
You left.
blaster is in the thing. I have a stick.
10 if you count the officer and the guy with the giant Gatling cannon.
Yeah, and I've got a stick, so no.
I felt like I could have taken him and then gotten the Gatling cannon and walked out, but I'm like,
yeah, how's your
know,
heavy weapon?
hey, it's actually pretty
Skill?
decent. I've been using it for the blaster rifle,
Oh, you've got to use it for the blaster.
or yeah, the rifle. But I learned my lesson from last time. I stuck to cover. Didn't want to die.
You haven't died today. It's been good.
I wasn't there to help, so
Yeah, no jazz hands this time.
no jazz hand backup.
This time it was only the rebel guy that got shot.
Oh, he rolled so poorly too. It's lucky because that weapon, it has breach. I think it has breach and sunder, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
Ouch.
Yeah, it does. It's 10 blast damage, 1 breach. It's nasty. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's way up there though. It's got auto fire. That was what he failed at when he tried to fire and hit everyone. Was he was trying to use auto fire, which allows him to hit multiple targets, but he didn't get the advantage necessary to spray more rounds and hit the other guy who was just snuck into the room, Cantios. So that's the thing. Freelancer Text 45 donated 20 and says, "Hey Cap, coffee for the coffee gods and no shenanigans today. Shenanigans tomorrow. Always shenanigans tomorrow. May the force be with you and thanks for the stream. I somehow can concentrate better while listening to these." Well, guys,
How?
We're
Please
like
message me
frickin-
personally. How? Detailing the utter chaos that you listen to.
we're like hyperactive squirrels all over the place. Like
We're all on Jawa juice tonight.
Brought to you by Java Juice.
We are not sponsored by Jawa juice.
Oh man. Yep.
So much acrobatics this episode.
Acrobatics, athletics.
coordination.
I wonder how I'm gonna get our gear back.
The Great Chase.
I have lost so
Your-
much right now.
Your gear back.
My light
Not my
repeat
gear.
blaster, frag grenades.
Yeah.
Well,
If you guys didn't watch the last episode, they had to give up their weapons when they walked into the hotel room, or the hotel casino. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can always try and stealth back in.
With the
Yeah, I'd like to see that roll.
ATST outside and like a, I don't know, couple of squads of stormtroopers, you'll be fine.
The night
Well,
in
we'll just
the
have to come back
office.
tomorrow.
When
Hmm.
it's simmered down, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to take the weapons.
We didn't
They
have
might.
anything illegal in there, did
They
we?
might.
They might confiscate them just because they're assholes.
Ugh.
Have fun getting your weapons back, guys. All I have to do is beat up my friend Vic over here to get my blaster back while he goes buys another. He's borrowing.
No, but my little
Borrowing.
blaster was special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get it back. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe our new friend has got a contact in the Valtane in the Lady Valerian's group. Maybe someone might be able to get it out.
We can count on it. This man's plans haven't exactly worked out fantastic.
Well,
for him
maybe
so
somebody
far.
else in his group is better at planning.
I hope so.
Listen
I'll
to
be
him.
honest.
I love that jump jet. That was fun.
Did he
I was
fail?
like, this is not gonna work out.
Did he fail, Shaq, or was that just so much of a success he missed his target?
He failed it. He failed it, but in a spectacular way, with a bunch of, I think, of advantage or something. So it was like, well, how could you fail so terribly and yet still have a bunch of advantage in this particular instance? So that was the way that we ran it. And then if you would have
Wow.
made it, you would have made it to the floor you wanted, and you would have landed it without having to do any other rolls. But then you had to roll to see if you plummeted to your doom, because you overshot, because that would have made more damage if you had fallen, if you had failed to grab. So
Of course, I do expect Ranger to have one fist in the air when he's flying, of course.
Superman in it the whole way. Yes. Oh, I love it.
I don't know who likes that jetpack more, you or Shaq. The sheer gameplay moments from that one so far.
That's some good moments.
I love-
That's
Well, this last one
s-
was my idea.
You're 0 for 2 so far. You're 0 for
You
2.
didn't see it, but like the entire chat was face palming as soon as you said that. As soon as it hit the stream, I could see because there was like a ripple of, oh no, she didn't. Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Go up. Here we go.
Here we go. We're
I've
doing
been
the
keeping
thing.
away. I've been keeping
I
away
will-
from the stream.
I will pay an artist or anyone to do that one single screenshot of the Superman fly with Kree attached, going up the casino center
Past
floor.
like the big chandelier.
Yeah, past the big chandeliers.
I'd
Below the, you can see
appreciate.
the casino tables.
I'd appreciate some animation over the fucking Cantios just dealing with the rope.
Yeah,
Just
meanwhile,
his
meanwhile,
The rope.
Crazy got the other half of the audience wondering whether she's still holding that Java juice.
I finished it.
Bro,
Speaking of which, Freelancer says he doesn't know why he can constraints better while the stream is going. Call it a quirk of personality or circumstance, also shenanigans. And then Tyrniful says, Kree, do you still have that Java juice?
I downed that thing when we got to the roof.
Oh, you just the whole thing?
I just chugged it.
Oh, lovely. Because that's what we're opening back up. Once everybody is back and ready to go, we'll end the break and we'll go ahead and get back into it. So
I sort of mentioned it like we're after Ranger gestures, we're going down that way. You went, and then down there, and then braced yourself.
You couldn't stop me.
So is Kree now just full on energy while
Yeah.
rappelling down the building?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a setback or a boost.
Yes.
let's go with
It's both. You can totally do both. Oh, that's good. That's so good.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
I am surprised it has gone this well. Knock on wood.
Nice.
Hush,
You're
hush.
the one who's on the ground. Don't say
That's
that.
it. I'm cursed. That's it. Changing dice, everyone. Changing dice.
Says the guy who's not dangling off of a building with being circled by TIE
I
fighters.
already had to deal with my rope incident.
Yeah, you shouldn't say anything because you're bad at it.
Throwing grenades.
You're a terrible person.
Oh man.
It was
All
my
right.
idea to jump back to like the 3rd floor of the building.
It was
It worked
awesome,
for
and
you.
you're just
It
jealous.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I'm jealous. I had
Yeah,
a
you are.
shootout.
You will be.
Why didn't you just jetpack down?
I don't think it works that way because it's not a jetpack. It's not a jetpack. It's
It's
a
a
jump,
jump
pack.
pack.
Yeah, but it'd send
Yeah.
me up into the air, and then we'd have nothing to come back down on. So
Yeah.
we'd just fall.
Good point. Good point.
Whee!
You could hit. Wait.
Splats.
What if you hit? What if you hit the TIE fighter?
I don't
No.
want to ride a TIE fighter.
Like a
You
bug on the
guys-
windshield.
I'm hearing a lot of bad advice coming from the green sector right now.
Oh. All right, let's get back into it. You guys
Yep.
ready? You guys ready for the
Ready?
continuation?
Yep.
All right, so we are now back from the break, and we find our two heroes dangling like a fish on a hook off the top of the largest building in the center of town. They've now made their way down just a small portion of it and have hidden as 2-3 TIE fighters come screeching by. The TIE fighters, though, don't notice them, but do see the distraction of what Kree placed there, which was her robe. By the way, mark that off. You no longer have your robe, as it's now flown off into the distance with the wind that's been started to pick up.
I was going to ask, actually, did the rope actually go on the windshield of a TIE fighter?
That'd be fantastic.
That would have been a triumph.
That would have been a triumph roll right there.
Yeah.
Stealth triumph.
Into the ATST. No.
Just sucked into the exhaust.
Just hits a stormtrooper in the face. So you guys are dangling there now. The TIE fighters have passed. They're probably making their way back around though. You can still hear the screeching as they've moved away, but they've been doing this like patrol pattern. What do you do?
Where we need to keep going. Definitely, we need to get off this building.
Yep.
Keep going.
By the way, do you want that thing?
Do what thing?
What?
The IPMG?
Oh, you PM'd me? 2 seconds? Sure. Yes, I do.
I'd be like, what?
Yes, I do.
Sneaks.
So you guys are on the building top. You've got stormtroopers that have started surrounding one portion of the building that you saw before you started rappelling, and you've had TIE fighters flying around. What are you doing?
Let's carry on
Glance
going
down
down.
below us. Does it look like they're below us?
Below you is more of the bits of the starship all the way down to a few low, like one-floored buildings, fairly far away. They're still like maybe 2.5 floors below you, easily. A pretty steep angle here as you're rappelling down. These are the roofs of some of the buildings that are kind of built up around this casino on the back end. Just glancing around right now, you see streets below. You see people, like civilians running around. You don't see any stormtroopers as of yet.
Okay.
Let's keep going, Cree. We gotta keep moving.
All right. Let's go.
So you're gonna rappel down the rest of the way.
Yeah, let's keep going.
So you're about to do a push off to rappel down. This is going to change how fast you go down. How many floors are you going to try to push off and rappel down? Are you guys going to try to like rush it and time it, or are you going to try to take your time and be careful about it?
I think let's take our time.
Yeah, I don't want to fall off the roof.
Yeah, let's take our time.
Okay, go ahead and do your rappel check. We'll call it.
Coordination is okay.
Coordination's okay.
5 success and 3 advantage.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, I got a success. 1
What?
success and 2 advantage.
Okay.
I'm not
Uh,
good at this.
As you both go to push off, you didn't really time it right because you're both connected to the same rope, and where Kree pushes off a second later than you do, and though it throws everything off. You kind of repel and smack yourselves against the metal the ship plating as you kind of fly back, lower yourselves. You don't land it properly. Whang! As you hit the hull. Go ahead and take 1 point of damage from hitting the side, though you do manage to repel down 1.5 of the floors.
How many floors left to go as a
One more rappel down and you'll make it.
Okay.
And this time you won't have the setback. Not that the setback mattered to you, but this time you won't have the setback for the difficulty because you're closer and you've now done this before. So, okay.
Hey, Ranger, I think I'm getting better at this. It's really
You're right,
exciting.
you-
We should really do this more often. I'm really enjoying being up this high.
Do you want to
mean-
go? Wait, you want to go more of climbing ships?
Yeah, I think that's really fun. I mean, you can get a view of the whole
Oh, no,
city
it's
from up
Java
here.
With that, you hear.
What do you think, Ranger? Can we go? Oh, look at the TIE fighter! Oh my gosh, how cool is that? They're so pretty when they're flying. I mean, I know they're terribly
Right.
dangerous.
Get to cover.
Okay, you guys dip into cover. You're
Yeah.
farther down now.
yes.
You're actually below the level of the TIE fighters this time instead of at eye level with them. So it'll be harder
Yeah,
for them to
let's get
spot
to
you, but
cover.
we'll go ahead and do a quick roll for stealth. Roll ahead and roll for it.
Rolling. Ooh, 3 success, 2 advantage.
1 success, 3 advantage.
Okay.
I got distracted by this really cool, like, lettering here on this plate right over here. Can you see this, Ranger? Sorry.
So with that, with your like pointing at the TIE fighters as they go by and super excited, a ranger grabs you and kind of pushes you back towards the hull of this half destroyed ship, and the TIE fighters pass by without noticing you, only because his roll was so good, and you can continue on your way. So
You know, some of the stitching is coming loose right here in your armor. You should really change. You should really fix that. I think Vic is pretty good at fixing things.
you guys make it down to the bottom floor. You get onto this roof of the smaller building.
What building do you think is in here? Who do you think lives here? Do you think it's a business or do you think it's apartments?
Great, come
Here.
on. Pushing her along.
As you're pushing her along, you're now on a building. You can hear the traffic moving. You actually hear the footsteps of probably that ATST that you saw earlier, and it's actually coming closer as it walks. And now, as you look around the side of the hotel casino, you can actually see there is on the roof that you're on. There is actually a lip of the wall of the building that you're on top of that kind of juts up. That's just slightly taller by about 1.5 feet than the floor that you're currently standing on, which is the actual roof. You can see for just a moment an ATST walking almost eye level with you guys. What do you do? It's at the moment it's kind of like looked away, looking down one of the roads as it makes its way around. You can actually see the head start to swivel back towards you.
Definitely duck
looking-
behind the wall.
Yeah, let's get ducked behind the wall. Let's get low as we can on our bellies, low as possible.
Okay. You both do a... This is kind of like a... To get to the wall section so it doesn't have an angle to see you, you're going to have to like jump and kind of slide up into position, getting closer to the ATSD, just so you have that cover. Go ahead and roll a coordination check to see if you can make the jump before its head swivels around fast enough.
I'm sorry, Ranger. I'm so
It's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. Hold me. 2 success, 2 advantage.
2 advantage.
I would just be waving at this thing. This guy, they're not looking for you.
All right. So, as you're both running at the same time, we're going to combine these checks because you're both running, you're both going to the same area. You make just a panicked dive toward the only cover that you can see. It means you actually are running toward this Imperial Walker. You can just get a glimpse as you make the dive and you slide into position. Just as your vision goes below that little wall section, you can actually see part of that little square opening. And as the head turns, you, Kree, lock eyes with the pilot. Then you dive. Then you just lose vision on it and dive into cover. What do you do?
Did it see us?
Pray to whatever gods I pray to? I mean, You know, he has such lovely brown eyes.
Roll
Focus
for
great.
initiative.
What?
You got spotted. Roll for initiative.
Why would he
Oh.
attack us?
This is to think of this roll for initiative as
Oh.
a who gets to act first. Okay,
All right.
Okay.
so just go ahead and roll.
Oh, Vic, we just lost 2 teammates.
I rolled vigilance. Is that because it's? You said you don't mind cool or vigilance.
On this one, yeah, I don't mind either one. Your choice on this one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 success.
And we said a
3
triumph
advantage.
is a triumph is a success, isn't it? In this fact.
Wait a minute. Repeat that for the people
Success.
in the bleachers, because I didn't think anybody registered that one, Tabby.
What?
What your roll did?
Oh. 4 success, 3 advantage.
That's what I thought you said.
4
Wow.
success and 3 advantage. Okay,
Yeah.
Ow.
I know who's going first.
I'm using 4C and adding that to my initiative check.
Yay, magic force powers for the win.
Yeah.
So
Well, I got a triumph and a success,
that
and we
just
said
acts
a
as a
triumph is
success.
just
So 2 successes
just-
for you.
Yep.
Okay, so how many advantages?
no advantages.
No advantages.
Just-
Okay.
Just straight up 2 success.
Oh, so I've got 4.3.
So it's gonna go PC, giant doom walker of death. That's at your level. So, all right, you are standing on top of a building now, no more than 20 feet, 25 feet away from an Imperial walker. You tried to jump into cover before it saw you, but it rotated the head just as it noticed you. Are you wearing your helmet, Ranger?
I am.
You're in your, okay, so you're in your helmet. It saw a helmeted individual and somebody. It didn't, and just like a brown blur, because I guess you're not wearing your what do you look like outside your robe? You've never gotten out of your robe before. Could you describe your
Oh.
character?
Well, she's got the mask, the rebreather mask that all the Keldor have to wear off their home planet. She's got the real dark black goggles on, and then she has kind of this rosy kind of pink skin, basically hairless because Keldor. And then she's in some darker clothing, kind of tight-fitted, easily good for moving around, not real heavy or armored or, able to help me in any other way.
Right. Oh boy. Okay, so you get to go first in this instance. What you're in cover. It just saw a blur of movement toward it. You can hear as it stops.
Oh, crap.
Now,
what do I see
it's actually
looking around on the
PC,
roof?
PC, and PC. And the way the rules work in this, I kind of forgot we were doing this. The way the rules work in this is that you don't necessarily actually have to go first. You won the initiative roll, but any player can take your spot. So that's also a call. What do you see around the roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Is
roof...
is there an obvious way to, like, a doorway to run to get off the roof?
No, you're on. You don't know what the building itself is, but it is fairly small. Now you've slid over to like one side of it. There is, for description's sake, let's say you're on the east side of the building and the ATST is on the other side of this little half wall, at eye level with you. In about 10 feet to the north is the next end of the wall, and then below is the street. To the south is where you just came from, where you slid off of the hotel casino, and have managed to end up on this roof. There to the west is what looks like another building, but it's actually taller than where you are, and it would be difficult to get up to.
Okay.
But there is a window on there, so you've got.
Is
a
the window
window.
open?
No,
Okay.
it's just a glass old Tatoonine, Curacrete wall with a kind of a shitty looking window in place.
Crap. Any ideas, Ranger?
I got nothing. So we got one way where the walker's coming. We got another way where there's a tall building with a window, and there was a third way, wasn't there?
Yeah, over the side.
And you don't know what's down there. You know that there's the street is there, but you don't know if there's like a shop below you or if there's like boxes. You don't know anything that's down there because you couldn't see it from the angle. You just know that that's the end of the roof and it goes down.
May have to take the risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Crap. Okay, so you said the... Would it be one... Would I be able to get to the side and drop over it in one turn?
Yes. If you went north and you went to the edge of the building and just jumped. Oh yeah. It's not far. A sprint would do it. What you'll find over there, you don't know. You could go... the building that you're on is fairly small. You could make it to any one of these directions in one movement.
Okay, I'm gonna slip my staff off my back into my hands, and I'm gonna make a run for the window.
So you're pulling off your staff. So all right.
Yeah.
So describe. You've got the first movement. Describe how the scene plays out. You're making a run for the window.
All right, so we're laying underneath this ledge. We can't see the walker right now, but I know that it saw me. Kind of let Ranger know that we've been spotted. Gonna kind of like pull my staff out and kind of hold it for a second. Gather myself, get up, and I'm gonna run to the window. I'm gonna kind of tell Ranger, I was like, I think our best shot's the window into that building.
Ranger,
Alright, go.
what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna follow suit. Agree with her method and follow suit.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt to give her a hand getting up to the because she sits on a higher ledge.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
if possible, I'd like to assist her with getting up to that higher ledge.
It's probably 2 feet off the ground from your current location, so it wouldn't take much of an assistance. But the window
Okay.
is shut. So you guys are just gonna try to run through it?
I've got a stick.
You've got a
On the
stick.
Made out of the
Bash
window.
the
Is it
window.
metallic or?
The window, it looks like it's made of reclaimed rusted metal components from what you're not sure. That's been
Oh,
set.
so it's a metal window? It's not like glass?
It's glass, it framed
Okay.
in metal, but the metal looks like
Okay.
it's rusted and old. Like they probably took it off of some scrap heap, put a glass paint in it, and that's how they made their window, because there's no wood on this planet.
Let's do it.
Okay, yep. Just use the staff to kind of break the window ahead of me and dive through.
Okay. Let's have you guys do a...
Check, I'm really bad at again. Yay!
Yay!
coordination check. If you're just making a pure run and then trying to get
Yeah.
through this window quickly. Yep. We'll call this as an assist from Ranger, because he's behind you, so you're the one making the run for it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not making the roll now, correct?
Yeah, you're just gonna assist her. So go ahead and take a boost for it. He's right behind
Oh,
you.
I get a boost?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've also got the light side, dark side points.
He's tempting us.
Give me those dark sides.
I've got 2 success.
All right, 2 success with the boost. So yeah, you do manage to get up and start just blitzing it for that door, and you hear the halt in the name of the Empire. You hear from these speakers coming off the AT-ST as these you can hear the cannon actually like rising as you're just running full speed. You make a dive for it with your staff in hand, crashing through. Let's see how much damage you take for going through a glass
I
window.
wanted
with
the
3
staff
threat.
to like go through the window and break it ahead of me.
Okay.
You know?
Well, you
So
took
I'm kind of using that to, and it gives me a defensive bonus. So you know.
you took 3 threat. Unless, did you have any advantages?
No.
All right. I need my other dice. Let's see if you caught any of the glass here. So
I can't stop laughing at what's happening.
let's see. You go ahead and take 2 damage
the guy
from
who
the
ended up in
glass
the
bits that
sewer.
didn't break
It's going so much wrong.
as you blast through it.
All right.
And since they saw you get up and run at no more than a few feet away, go ahead and we're gonna roll perception to see if they've noticed at least what race you are. Second. Okay. Interesting. So you blast, you go through the window. Ranger, you follow in right behind. She's pushed most of the glass out of the way, mostly with her body. You took that 2
As
damage, right?
incidental,
Yeah.
as they're going in, because they called out "Halt in the name of the Empire," I shout out "Halt in the name of this" and give them the finger. Immediately get in the window.
As you get into the window, you hear, you move away from the window. Now you've realized you're in someone's like bedroom, right? There, it's poorly decorated. There is it's kind of dusty in here, so you imagine this has probably been abandoned for a while. It's like an upstairs condo, and then you hear as the 2 sides of the wall where you just went through the window just explode out as the soldier fires. You got
Keep running. I think we should keep running.
and so you guys keep splitting. You find that there's a stairwell that goes down. There is another room across the hall that you're now in, as the room behind you has just ceased to kind of exist.
Keep moving, go.
There's a window in the hallway in front of you that you could try to go back out through or get a look through, or you could try to go down the stairs. But you can definitely feel as the walker starts to move again. All right, let's go back to our other group.
God damn.
All right, so you guys are starting to make your way to the safe house now. So we're going to do a couple of rolls just to kind of
Hang on
out.
1 second.
Yeah.
Before we leave the scene of the crime, Vic's going to give a real quick once-over, see if there's any grenades, like maybe grab one of the E11s. He's feeling distinctly underarmed for this situation.
There is an E11, and each stormtrooper has a grenade on them. Frag grenade.
Okay. He's going to grab both the grenades and the E11. All right.
And one of them has an extra reload.
Okay.
All right, so you've grabbed all that stuff. Valentine's like, we've got to get to the safe house. All I know is northeast of here. Until we can get to one of the main roads and I can figure out exactly where we're at. Or at least get an eye on where the hotel is. God, where are we?
I don't know. Where are the other 2, Vic? Do you have any location on them?
No, I heard they were close to this TIE fighters, though. I heard one over the comlink when I called.
Oh, great. What could possibly go wrong?
No, what hasn't?
Good point. And just kind of look over at Valtane.
All right, let's get out of here. Come on.
All right, so Valtade, as you guys are making your way through, you have a brief chance that you're kind of making your way through the different city streets and dipping in behind alleys. And Valtane looks over. You Cantios, and he's like, you could probably lift that hood and just get out of here, kid. I think we're a little bit more conspicuous than you are.
Good point. All right, Vic, you head out with him. I'm gonna go look for the others.
Okay. Be careful.
I always am.
All
Here,
right.
you want one?
The night. I throw my hood over.
Vic hands him back his blaster. Here, you might need this. Call me if you need backup.
What am I gonna need a blasterless Vic for?
He just looted the
I have an E11.
Oh, you picked that, but yeah. All right.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check, just so we have it.
Me too.
No, not for you.
2 success, 2 advantage.
Actually, yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check. 2 success and 2 advantage.
I'm a little angry because one of my dice hit the other dice and rolled the triumph into an advantage.
Oh, ouch.
I just watched
Make
that
sure your
disappear.
dice stay far away.
One
from each other.
success, 2 advantage.
Okay, you got, let's Contios. Vic, you had 1 success and 2 advantage. Okay, and let's see how our wounded companion does. Beltane. Okay, triumph and 4 success. So,
Okay.
No, we
before
rolled well.
Contios goes off. Hey kid,
Yes.
be careful, man. I'll get this guy to safety, but call me and I'll come with the cavalry if you need me.
Will do. As I turn around and walk away. Remember, Vic, be the knight.
Be the knight. You got it, kid.
All right. So, Cantios, what is your plan? Are you trying to fall back and find your companions, or?
That's the idea.
Okay. So you start heading back towards the casino, and you kind of just like drift into the crowds and vanish into the daytime. Valtane and Vic begin to make their way through the city streets. You do come across a couple of stormtroopers that have set up blockades and have tried to like corral anyone escaping that area, but due to very strong rolls on behalf of Valtane, he's able to like hold you back as a couple of the squads march by. You do see one of the ATSTs marching through and stops and turns in your direction down an alleyway, but it scans over it with a flashlight into the shadowy area and yet does not see anything. You guys continue to move on forward and eventually come to a few minutes later into a main road, and he says, we're almost there. And at this point, Valtane gets a call on his comm link, and he says, oh, shit. They've spotted a Kildor. He looks at you.
Probably my friend.
He's like, well, I can't go back and get him, but I'll tell you what. And he gives you the comlink information for a man named Fix Cypher. And he says, we've got a little bit of support in orbit. I've been holding back to call it in case we absolutely needed it. Now, I can make it to the safe house without issue, and I'm going to have to get off this rock. It's just too hot here. But if you want to go back for your friend, call this in. You've got one shot. And he tells you that there is an X-Wing in orbit, and he can come down and give you one bit of support, one run, and then that guy's going to have to split.
Roger that. Vic Cypher.
Fick, not Vic. Fix Cypher. And make sure you say Fix, because his brother's nearby. But don't worry about that. Just, that's what you got. That's all we can support you with.
Do I need to give him a code name or anything before he comes in?
Tell him Wolf 1 gave you the order. I will clear it with him on my way back to the... And he kind of squinches as he moves a little bit. He's got that wound there. He's like, to be listening out for the comm link. Okay, all you got to do is give him the coordinates and what you need. Hey,
okay.
Vic?
What's his call sign?
He is Wolf 3.
Wolf 3. Roger. We'll be talking again, I'm sure, but thanks for the help.
Yeah, well, it's not much, and I feel like I got you into more trouble than you were in before, but we have to help you again. I owe you, big time.
All right, we'll be talking.
Good luck.
Vic's gonna sling the E11 back and try and keep it not obvious.
Okay. So you sling your rifle, because it's considered a rifle.
Yep.
All right. What are you gonna do?
You're gonna start. So how far am I from where the casino is now?
It's been as much time as it has been for them to rappel down the building, get spotted, run for their lives, and have a building be destroyed. So you're not very
couple
far.
Blocks.
Yeah. Like at this point, you actually have heard the blasts of the ATST firing into the building. You're not sure what it is, and then a few seconds later, that's when the call came in to Valtane. That somebody it sounds like he's got someone listening to Imperial comms. So that's about as far. So you're not very far. You guys have been booking it as fast as you can with a wounded man. So, but at this point, you've got a good idea where you're at. That's why he was willing to split up with you guys and make sure that you were safe. And he knows that he's not much use to you at this point. He's so wounded, or he would help. And if during your run, you've actually seen in the distance the building. So you've got a good idea where you're at now.
Okay. So as unsuspiciously as Vic can theoretically make it, he's going to start, he's going to head back towards the casino area where he heard the big boom.
Okay. and then we will go ahead and shift back to our other heroes. Now, you guys do have your comm links, by the way, just to give you a quick reminder.
We've been a little busy.
A little bit busy.
So, you're in a building. One of the walls are gone. Just fired into here. So your ears are ringing from the explosion. And you notice that the blaster fire happened one time and has stopped, which is a little strange. It's an abandoned building. But you're still on that second floor. What are you going to do?
Let's take a quick look out the window, because there's a window on the
Yeah,
second
I'm
floor.
gonna I have one arm over my head and kind of gesture towards the window, like your turn, Ranger.
Okay, so there's a stairwell that goes down and a stairwell that goes up inside the building. You pass the stairwell real quick to look out the window that was across the hall, and you see below another building. This one at the same level that the last one was. That's only a couple feet down. You're in another bedroom. From here, you can see on your right is that road with now the traffic you've noticed has basically stopped or slowed because there's a walker, you can imagine, nearby, kind of making its way around the building. You can feel the building shake with every step a little bit. What do you want to do?
Should we get down to the ground floor and cross the other side of the street? As in, not the street the walker's on?
Yeah, away from the walker is better.
Let's get away from the walker and into, let's just try and cross the street.
Okay.
Get through this traffic, past all the other civilians, and get out the way.
So, just down the stairs and nonchalant out the door, or?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Kind of like run a hand over my head. That might be hard, but we can give it a try.
Okay, so you run down the stairs and you find that you're actually inside like a little diner kind of nook area, right? That's what it's a little restaurant downstairs. It is empty. Everyone has scattered and run from it. You can see the walker's feet as it makes its way. It's all glass windows that wrap around this corner building. And you can see the walker has now moved from its location on the one side of the wall that you had seen it at and had walked around the building, maybe expecting you to go through that other window, maybe just like waiting at looking around, waiting at the main entrance of this restaurant. Now he's kind of like looking down, he's looking up at the windows, he's kind of peeking up toward the roof, he's not quite sure where you're at. You imagine that since it's searching for you, it's probably called in for backup. It has...
Is there a back way out?
Is there a back way out? There is, behind the counter of this little diner, there is
It's a kitchen.
a little back. There's like a kitchen back there, yeah. So there's a little door in the kitchen that runs out the back.
Out through the kitchen.
Let's go out the back way.
Okay.
All right.
Slide over the slide over the door, of course.
Awesome. So you guys run out the back door. You find yourselves in an alleyway now that runs away from the building. Now, what you're kind of, for a second, you're free and clear. What do you want to do? And we'll do some rolls to see where you can get.
So have we walked out this back door and gone out?
You've run out the back door. You're in an alleyway now. You can see some of the sun kind of gleaming down. It's a tight alley, and it runs up to another road that runs. Looks like you're running towards the north at this point.
As we were going through the kitchen, did I see any sort of like jackets, any sort of clothing that was left behind? Aprons, I'll take anything at this point.
You do see an apron, like kind of a crummy, almost like chef's hat, like a white, kind of ratty one. You do see a coat rack that is probably where the chefs take off their coats when they come in and set stuff up on there. So there's like 2 coats and a crappy chef's hat and an apron.
I'm going to grab the apron. I'm going to drape it over me like a shawl, like all the way over my head to hide my features. And I'm going to put my staff in one hand and pretend like it's a walking cane and kind of like bend over and pretend to be an old lady.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no.
I would have taken the chef's hat.
It's not going to hide my Keldorness.
Yeah, but you could be a chef.
All right. That's fair enough. What are you doing, Ranger?
Seeing Curry put on the scare, it's like I'm wearing armor and a helmet, so I want the coat actually. The coat that
Put on the chef's hat. Put on the chef's
coat,
hat.
take off my helmet and put on the chef's hat.
The coat is this like feathered at the top, but leather coat, and the feathers are this dark black color that make this weird, like, it wraps around the neck almost like a scarf, but it's sewed into the top of the coat. The rest of it's almost like a trench coat. It's not a bad coat, made out of some kind of leather.
Nice.
It runs all the way down if you were to wear it down to like your ankles.
I'm gonna take off my helmet, and is
Okay.
it possible to attach a helmet to my belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, attach it to my belt. Throw the coat over me, completely hiding the majority of my armor. And of course I'm gonna take the chef's hat.
You
Glad
take
we're on
this-
the same page.
okay.
I'm gonna throw that on and support Cream walking like I'm helping my. I'm gonna say grandmother, my elderly mother, out of this situation, and go across the street.
For a minute, describe your characters, because you've taken off your helmet now. And I think it's the first time in the stream that you've done that. What does your character look like underneath that helmet?
So Ranger's got a lovely deep scar over his right eye. Got
Mhm.
looks like a beast claw almost going down and over his eye. It's got short brown hair. Starting to go with the grey wolf style. Like he's starting to grey up now a little bit, but he's still got it. He's still got it.
No salt and pepper.
Little bit salt and pepper. Not much else. He's got brown eyes, quite deep brown eyes. Apart from that, there's nothing too noticeable about
Now
Ranger Deck.
beyond, humans aren't supposed to be blue, so you're not blue, correct? Your skin, because that's bad.
I
Kree
sort
knows
of
that's
turn
bad.
and look at Kree with eyes of like, no, I'm not blue. I'm not meant to be
take a-
blue. I will never be blue. Come on, let's get out of here. Just sort of rushly put the stuff on. Put the chef's head on. Always wanted to be a chef.
So you wear the chef. Not that anyone has ever seen your facial features in this instance, but you're wearing the chef's hat. What do you... what are you guys gonna do? You got this alleyway now in front of you. If you've come out the back of the kitchen, you've passed like all the stoves and all the cooking stuff in there.
I think the plan is to try to blend in with the populace and make our way elsewhere.
Yep, let's get out of here. Let's blend in with the population as they're kind of going past and get out of here. Let's head out into the street.
Okay, so you're heading out into the street. You get to the end of the alleyway. Go ahead, and you see civilians running like across the street hurriedly. You see stormtroopers kind of like marching in from your left-hand side, still farther down the road. You still hear like the stomping of the ATST, but it's a little bit farther back now. Like it stayed in that area. Go ahead and roll to see how far you guys get without being spotted. Let's go ahead and do a deception.
Deception.
As you make your way across, you have stormtroopers who have eyesight on you as you try to make your way into the street and fade into the
Oh no.
because you're trying to blend in with the crowd. Let's see if you manage to blend in.
One success, 2 advantage. Oh no.
One success, 2 advantage.
Yay!
All right.
Best disguise ever.
Ever. So you wait until a few individuals come running across the street, and you take that opportunity that's broken the line of sight between you and the stormtroopers to make your way into the road and try to scurry across it to get far away from that walker and where you think you may have been reported in. Sadly, your disguises aren't that great. The two stormtroopers, you can see one of them point out, and the other one whips around and hurriedly start making their way towards you. What do you do?
What do we see in front of us? Like what is on the street right now?
This particular street has a.
Do we see any vehicles that could be useful?
Okay, so you see. Go ahead and do a perception check. Let's see what you see.
Let's see if they see the night coming for them.
Two success, 1 advantage.
As you guys make your way across, you notice the stormtroopers, pointing toward you, and you know the jig is up. You, Kree, do notice a sand speeder, and
With like the keys in the ignition kind of thing.
with the keys in the ignition due to the success of the blanks that I just rolled for difficulty. So you see it, you realize, all right.
Tug on Ranger.
What you do
and
also
I-
notice is the guy sitting in the driver's seat right now.
Ranger, can you take care of him? I kind of like point with my staff, or no, that's not what I do. I kind of like nudge Ranger and kind of like gesture discreetly towards the guy in the sand speeder.
Oh, I'm on it.
Oh,
As I
you've
walk
been
over,
spotted.
I walk over. Just quickly take off my chef's hat. Excuse me, sir. You hold my chef's hat. As he takes the hat, drag him out of the sand. Completely drag him out and just completely throw him. Just like, get up.
All right,
Out of
do
the way.
a
Want him
do
out-
a
want
quick
out the way.
brawl attack to see that this. Actually, I just threw the dice out of the container, so let's try that
Oh,
again.
okay. So he's getting angry now.
Well, you're trying to grapple this guy basically and throw him out.
Yep.
So let's see.
Yep.
What you roll.
1, 2 success and 3 advantage.
He rolled a blank. So tell us how this goes.
I give him
Very
the chef's
surprised.
hat, and I imagine he's like really confused. Like, why is this person handing me his chef's hat? He takes the hat with both hands, and I literally just pick him up by his shoulders and drag him, and sort of half like throw him out into the street.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? As he hits the ground. The vehicle is already started and pointing in the direction toward the intersection where the ATST was, but behind you guys is where those stormtroopers were. And you can now see a couple more stormtroopers making their way around the corner. So what do?
Great, get in!
I run over and I hop in.
As soon as she's in and strapped in, I punch it.
All right, you punch it.
Just to double check, behind me is the route towards the casino,
Yes.
and straight forward is the ATST.
Straight forward is an intersection. On the right-hand side is going to be where the ATST was last seen. Directly
Okay,
behind you is toward the casino, where some stormtroopers are making their way around. You've got two other choices. Go straight down the road that you're currently on, or head more north by taking a left. But that will be... yeah, that'll be the same road that the ATST is on, but it'll be behind you at that point.
Can I
Go
make
straight.
a quick... Okay.
Go on.
I was gonna say, can I make a quick astrogation check to see if I can, like, mentally figure out a way to get us out of here?
Astrogation for a local... you know what? Why don't... Instead of astrogation, because that's more for...
Yeah, I don't know what other navigation type skills there are.
Yeah, it'd either be either astrogation. I'll give you the option. Either astrogation or it'll be outer rim lore for this particular planet, because it's an outer world or outer rim city that you've been on for a little bit now, and you've gotten
Oh,
some
yeah, I'll
glances
go outer rim
from
then.
your high perspective earlier. You got some glances of how kind of the city is laid out better than before. So.
All right,
Your
I'll do
call.
outer rim if you wouldn't mind taking away a setback for that.
Okay, I'll take a setback away for the whole holy shit, I'm running away from the Empire. Oh, right.
1, 2, 3, 4 success. 1, 2, 3, 4 advantage.
Oh yeah. So what information are you trying to find out?
So I'm trying to figure out like layout of the streets, the buildings. I'm trying to be able to direct Ranger away from everything right now. Like the best route to get away and not be chased
All right, so
or shot.
You do know, just from the perspective of where you were before, that there was some kind of compound to the, we'll just say the east of the city. From your current position. So if that's what you think it is, which would be an Imperial operation base, a lot of the reinforcements may be coming from that location. So though it
Don't
seems
go
stupid,
east.
your best bet would probably be to turn left in front of you and turn left. It'll keep you in the eyesight of the ATST, but it'll move you away from any more reinforcements. And there are some alleyways in that direction that you saw that would be big enough for a speeder to fit down to maybe get hidden.
Okay. So as Ranger is starting to book it down the street, I'm going to kind of like yell over the wind noise, "Go left!"
I follow her directions.
All right, go ahead and do a atmospheric piloting check.
Do I get anything from her guidance? Perhaps because she's leading me, or is it just simply, can I drive?
You're just booking it how well you can drive and get around now the bits of traffic that are stopped, getting around all the
Alrighty. 2 success and 3 advantage.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you whip around the corner. The ATST kind of acquires you, and you get the feeling that maybe someone has reported that you've now gotten into a speeder because you did it in the sight of a group of stormtroopers, and a couple of bolts rip out. It looks like they're not trying. Maybe it's a bad shot. Maybe somebody's not trying to hit you, but the blasts rip out from the ATST, blowing up a vehicle to your left-hand side. But with your piloting skills, it's not an issue. You kind of go right around it and skirt off behind the smoke now that they've gracefully made for you, and you've got a little bit of cover. And you go flying down the road.
Direct him down the alleyways to get some more buildings between us and the shooty stuff.
As you say, go down this alley, go down that alley, and you take the corner.
Yeah.
And as you take the corner, you do notice that that ATSD is chasing behind as fast as it can go, and you realize that walker is faster than your speeder. And you whip around the first corner, but it does have a chance to. Just make sure real quick. What's his piloting skill? Did he get there in time? Let's see. Oh yeah.
To see which corner we went around.
To get around the smoke from the explosion to see. So he gets around the corner and he does see you whip around that corner. He continues to chase after you guys. Now you're in a much tighter alleyway. Go ahead and do another atmospheric check. To see if you can get around now this tight alleyway with a lot of trash cans and crap that they've been putting in there. There's even like a speeder bike in there that you're gonna have to try to whip around, or maybe even bring the speeder up on its side a little bit to get around it.
2 success and 2 advantages.
Okay.
I like to think Ranger's looking in the mirror and it says objects may be closer than they actually are.
Okay, so you do
goddamn.
manage to get around those obstacles, and as you get around the speeder, you pass it without an issue. Sadly, the ATST still has a sight on you as it's been trying to chase firmly behind. It's going to make its check real quick. Whether or not it makes it, though, it does manage to fire off a couple of rounds, detonating that bike. But oh, yep, he makes it. He does manage to whip the walker through the corner, and it's tight for this walker, like really tight. And it's not trying to dodge shit in it. It's just blasting through all of the trash cans and these big dumpsters. It's just kicking them out of the way. It's not a problem for this walker. It fires, hits the bike behind you guys as you just whip around a corner of it, exploding. Let's see how much damage that's going to do. Okay, the speeder takes like 4 damage. The thing has like 20 health, so don't worry about it. And now we'll switch back over to Cantios and Vic. Commotion and chaos is in the city at the moment. Cantios, you've dipped into the shadows, and you were the first one to start making their way back, and you've done it at a much faster pace. You hear explosions and walkers, and you start making your way toward it. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get some elevation.
You're gonna get some elevation, so you're gonna climb up on like the nearest building or a tower or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see a building, and then you see what looks like a radio tower. You can go up the building, which would be fairly easy climb for you, or do you go up this tower? A little bit more exposed, but you'll get much better a line of sight.
I'm gonna go with the building.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a quick athletics check to see that you can bound up the side of this building, over like one of the stores and up the cloth rooftop bit of it, and then onto the roof itself, climbing over a few like antennas and junk.
So it takes away 1 setback.
Okay. By the way, at this point, while this chase has been going on, you guys haven't really noticed because you've been in alleyways most of the time, but the sky, it's still like, it's getting like late afternoon, but it's getting darker, and the wind's starting to pick up. You can hear the whistling of it, as you guys can't because you're in that speeder and it's just chaos, but everybody else who isn't currently in like a combat run mode notices that.
In a car chase?
Yeah, in a car chase. The sky is starting to darken, and you can hear the kind of whistling of wind as it comes in. And you've never seen weather on Tatooine, so you're not quite sure what this means.
I rolled a
I
solid.
already warned Ranger about it, so we know.
I rolled a solid 2 advantage.
Solid 2 advantage. Okay.
2 advantage.
That's
takes
a solid
you-
roll right there.
Solid.
Well, what does it mean if you fail and so does the difficulty roll? I guess you still fail it, but it takes you longer than expected to get to the top of the building, and as you finally make it up there, you as you make it up to the top of the building, you actually see your two companions that you were looking for down an alleyway now, right past you on the other side of this building. And you look up and you see this ATST walker charging down an alleyway, carving up every piece of junk in its way. It fires, an explosion goes off right to your left. The building shakes a bit. And this is the first time, as you look back toward the explosion, you see the wall of sand that it towers above you like the skyscrapers from your homeland in Coruscant. Huge wall of sand that is approaching the city and dwarfs everything. It's a Tatooine dust storm.
Oh, fantastic.
And this walker is now
slightly.
approaching full tilt, like leaning forward as it runs, about to pass right past you, completely focused on its quarry. What do you want to do?
So what would it be if I tried to jump on the top of it? Gotta ask.
It would probably be it'd really be about sticking the landing, wouldn't it? So
You can jump just fine.
I'd have to say that'd be coordination. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna flip a light side point to upgrade my roll.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was going to use a dark side. We can only do one or the other. You called it first, so go ahead and flip to upgrade your roll. This is a
too
full
good at
tilt
this.
ATST charging down a. It can't dodge, and it's not paying
Gotcha.
attention to you at all. So,
Take away one. This setback.
Question: are you flipping that to give you a better roll for your skill, or are you using it to lower the difficulty of the roll?
To raise my skill.
Because it's going to be 2 reds.
You know what? I'm gonna lower the set. I'm gonna flip another one.
Oh god.
Okay, so we'll go 1 red and a purple.
And then it takes away 1 setback because of my.
This would be much harder if he could actually maneuver, but he's in an alleyway, so he has to go forward, and he's not trying to dodge you. Okay.
What did he roll?
He rolled 1 failure and 3 threats.
Jesus Christ! I rolled 1 success and 3 advantage. It didn't work.
So you
So close.
you're not quite sure even what went through your head at this point, but you run up toward the edge of the building and you jump with all of your might as the ATST is running forward, and you, thinking in your head you're gonna like land on the roof and grab the handle that's on the top, actually fly over that handle, slide off the top Dukes of Hazzard style, and manage to reach out. Go ahead and do a an athletics check to see if you can grab the antenna on the side before you go right off the side.
One success, 2 advantage.
1 success and 2 advantage. Okay.
Minus 1 setback.
You reach out just trying to grab onto anything, and you grab onto the antenna that sticks off the top, and it slips out of your hand, but your hand is still out there, and you manage to grab onto the right-hand side weapon pack that kind of sticks out the side of the ATST, and you grab onto that, which is blistering hot from the Tatooine just sun. If you've ever lived in Arizona, you know what I'm talking about.
And they've been firing it.
And so you grab onto that, which is still moving, by the way, but you're hanging off now, dangling with one hand. With this, Vic.
I had to do it.
You started making your way back. You cleared the chaos.
I will have draped the my thermal cloak over the slung rifle, try and be less conspicuous,
Okay.
theoretically. And I am heading towards where the all the noise is.
All right. So you start heading toward all the noise, and as you come up to, and you wouldn't have tried to get any elevation or anything like that. I assume you just kind of stay inconspicuous.
I don't really know what's going on here.
You make your way. You got a bit
I'm
farther.
gonna go. Hey, Cree, I'm coming. I'm headed back to you guys. Where are you at?
Since I'm not driving the speeder, I'll respond. We're a little busy right now.
Okay. Be advised, they're looking for a Keldor.
Yeah, I know. They found me.
You might want to keep a low profile.
I tried. Didn't work.
What are you doing?
Being chased by an ATST, and we're in a speeder, and we're driving away down the alleys.
And you hear another explosion, and this time it's not through the comm link. You hear it, Vic, in not too far away actually, and with the rumbling and the gunfire, you can kind of get an idea that they're actually heading mostly in your direction. They're heading north, and if you get over a couple of streets, you might be able to cut them off.
Okay, I'm gonna head over that way, keeping an eye for maybe if there's any building I can get up on top of and get an elevated position.
Okay, as you make
Better
your way
sight
over,
lines.
go ahead and do a perception check. Let's see what you find.
Let's see. How perceptive is Vic? I haven't rolled that in so long.
You can do a perception check. You can do a warfare check if you like to see if it's like a strategic advantage, like a point that screams to you.
Warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a warfare check, to be honest.
All right, you're scanning over the direction from where the fire is coming from and the doom. Go ahead and do your warfare check.
2 success, 4 advantage.
All right, so you succeeded. What in your mind did you find?
Listening, hearing the explosions off on one side, I'm looking for a building on some corner that can maybe get me an elevated position where I can have sight lines on the alleyway in that area, the alleys in the street.
Okay, so you make your way over to it. As you get into your position, in a screech of metal rubbing against one of the concrete walls as it turns a corner out of an alleyway and makes it onto the main street where you're actually watching down, you see this now beat to hell speeder with a helmetless ranger, hair in the wind, a really god-awful looking jacket with the feathers flying off the top of it. You see Kree, what are you doing currently in this thing?
I've still got my apron over my head.
She's wearing an apron on her head.
So this white, off-white stains all over it, different colored stains, and it's like flapping in the wind. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. In the passenger seat, like looking back.
Passenger seat.
And this is the first time that you and Vic now notice this screeching around the corner chicken walker. And dangling from the weapon pod at the side is a humanoid figure with this cloak. Now, the wind has pulled it back. The storm, actually, by the way, has gotten much closer, and it's the sand is starting to hurt your skin as it's hitting you. You guys driving haven't even noticed. You just assume, whatever, it's darker, it doesn't matter, we're gonna die. But you, Vic, have noticed like the sandstorm is actually starting to really come in. What are you guys gonna do?
As a Keldor, can I like always have that like little weather sense thing? Can I know that the storm is getting closer because I knew the storm was coming?
That's a skill that Keldor, who have trained for years, know how to use, and that's for their home world.
Okay, fine.
So maybe someday.
Can Vic take an incidental to lowly mutter to himself, "That's low profile"?
Hey, you said to be careful. You didn't say it to be...
And this is the first time that you guys hear the screech of TIE fighters coming back in toward the city, but they sound like they're getting closer and closer. So
okay. I think it may be time to phone a friend. All right, real quick. Vic's going to call up his new contact on his comlink, and doing his best impression from all the military movies that he watched from the Republic days. He's going to try and talk military.
Oh God. So in the distance, an ATST chasing a speeder with a dude hanging off of it. You're making this call. You've got a little bit of time to get your point across fairly quickly.
To that. Wolf 3. This is a new unit on the net. Identify a Hydra 1. Do you read?
Vic, I've already been briefed. What do you need? Oh, hey, this is Fix.
Oh, hi, Fix. Yeah, so Wolf One must have told you I was going to call. We got a little situation here. My friends are being chased by an ATST on the streets, and there's multiple TIE fighters circling the city, and there's a big sandstorm coming in.
Yeah,
anything you could help with, that would be great.
Yeah, we're tied in with the grid. Is the walker yours?
No, the walker is not ours. However, the small guy hanging off of one side apparently is.
I'm coming down now. Call your targets, and you hear this really angry, like, astromech beeping wildly, and some switches being clicked.
Vic's gonna switch over real quick. Cantios, you don't want to be there. Drop.
Drop. I just got on this thing.
Drop.
Kicks off.
All right. So you kick off. Are you aiming for anything as like all these buildings and stuff are running by? Like, explain to me exactly what you're gonna do. How do you see it playing out?
I'm aiming for a pile of garbage.
Okay, you aim for a pile of garbage. Falling off. Now, in orbit, what you guys don't see is that a lone powered-down X-Wing has been sitting there drifting silently in space, waiting. A young man, short hair, human, finally gets the call, and you guys heard what the conversation was. And with that, he flicks a couple of switches. The X-Wing comes to life. Angry beeps from an astromech in the back as he confirms the target. A targeting display, holographic display of the city in front of him has been kind of watching the chaos. And he's been scratching his head like, what is happening down there? The X-Wing opens its S-foils and full burns straight down towards the city that it's been orbiting over. On the surface, Cantios, you kick off. Go ahead and go ahead and roll for a what is it? Help me out here, guys. Coordination check, just to catch your landing.
Okay. Three success, 2 advantage.
All right, so with that, you do a little roll, end up right into a pile of garbage that actually breaks your fall, but you don't take any damage from it, and you can pull yourself out, dust yourself off. As you now kind of stand up and you see this ATST full bore running. From your guys' perspective, Vic and Kree, swooping down out of the sky, an X-Wing does this like half roll fire, and let's see what it does with all 4 of its cannons. That would be engaged range in a vehicle the same size. This has nothing to do with Dungeons or Dragons. It's all math. I was lied to.
Not math.
Okay. I didn't realize we'd be using this character, so let me just... Okay. It's actually same silhouette as an ATST as an X-Wing, the more you know. That changes how difficult it is to hit. Okay. Oh. All right. So, the blast rings out. The 4 rounds fly out of the X-Wing as it curves up. The rounds hit the ATST dead on, and to the point of health that it has, even with its armor, the thing just detonates, and you see 2 legs still standing there that was once a full walker, and then they to the knees, and then they fall over. The X-Wing, you see its S-foils close as the 3 TIE fighters have been circling the city actually peel off and go after him. You see the bolts flying out of green death toward the X-Wing as it flies off toward orbit. I will roll those later. You guys, they've gotten so fast so far, and the storm is so bad, you've now lost sight of them. The storm has now rolled in, painful as it is, and has given you a bit of cover and a little bit of a reprieve from this craziness.
Vic goes, Hydra 3 to Wolf 1. That is a positive on that target. Good shot, and kid, get the heck out of here. And thanks.
Yeah, you owe me one, but I'm a little busy right now. Good luck, guys. Okay. And he kicks off the comm link.
hearing the explosion, Ranger's gonna bring the behind him at the explosion of the ATST. I'm assuming we're all down like one long street
Yeah.
with Vic on the rooftop.
And now very quickly, the view distance that you've got has gone to shit. The storm has now hit, that wave of sand has come in, and you can see, 10, 15 feet at most, and it's starting to degrade even further.
You should probably pull over and put your helmet back on.
Not a bad idea, and I fold up the coat. I'm gonna keep that coat for later. I'm gonna put my helmet back on, and I'm gonna bring the car around and gonna see about 10, 15 feet.
Yep.
Should we walk it?
Yeah, probably better.
Let's get out
I
and
mean,
walk it.
they know the speeder anyways, so.
Yeah, let's get out.
Probably
Let's
ditch that.
dump the speeder. Dump the speeder.
And you guys have seen, Vic, you've seen where they were at. You know where Cantios is. You saw that before the storm, like that wall of sand, if you ever lived in Arizona, you know what it is, has finally just come through and killed visibility.
You keep making references to Arizona.
Because
This is not
Arizona is
helping.
Tatooine.
Basically.
It's the same place.
Basically.
It's this. I lived there for years. I know Arizona is Tatooine. This is just how life is.
I've driven through those sandstorms. It sucks.
All right, we're gonna bring the car to a stop. I'm gonna regroup with whoever we see first.
Yeah.
So I can get on the comms.
Okay,
You
guys.
guys doing all right?
I'm gonna come join you real quick. Our friends sent us a little air support there.
Much appreciated.
Same
Who's our
friends that
friend? We need to talk about these friends.
Yeah.
The same
apparently
friends
we
that got
do.
us caught in this.
We can talk about it later. Let's just get out of here.
Pointing fingers.
Come regroup with everyone
Okay.
and then get the hell out of here.
Vic's gonna go ahead and pull off his thermal cloak because it has a little hood and pass it over to Kree. This might work a little better.
Oh, but I was just starting to like this apron.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay. Right now, this storm should hide me. If you need it for the heat, it's okay.
We'll worry about it when we get back.
Okay.
What happened to your cloak?
It's a long
Don't
story.
ask.
Oh.
Hey, I didn't fall off that building.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get back to the
Snarky
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc.
That's
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
we'll have a conversation then. We got a lot of catching up to do.
Do you think we're gonna be able to get our guns back from the casino at some point?
I don't think right now.
Yeah.
I
Well, I wasn't
betcha-
thinking right now.
Sneaky Pants over there could get in and get him for us, but
No, there's a
probably
possibility.
tomorrow.
Where are you, kid?
Where is Sneaky Pants?
Currently standing in a sandstorm, holding my eyes because birds.
Can I
Yeah.
see him?
Do you smell a bit of the rubbish you landed in?
I smell
Yeah,
the
ooh.
sewer and the rubbish.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Well.
Oh. You've been down a
yeah.
sewer? Both of
Don't
you been
wanna-
down a sewer? You stink.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Vic's friend.
Oh,
Lovely
let's get out of
place.
here. Come on. Let's make our way back.
And you've gone the total like opposite side of town to where your the Snarky Sarlacc is currently. But so it's a bit of a hike, and particularly in this nasty sandstorm. Go ahead and roll for everybody roll for a survival check.
You
I
mean
imagine this wouldn't be too terrible for me since I've got the rebreather mask and I've got the goggles and the thick leathery skin.
You're the only one that's just completely unaffected by this, seeing how this is like a beautiful sunny day on your home world. Having the terrible storms of
Terrible.
oh my
Dorn.
goodness, Dorn, thank you.
2 success, 2 advantage for Ranger.
2 success for Cantios.
Okay.
Do I need to roll or can I just like
You're
lead
fine.
the group?
You just lead the
2
group.
advantage.
Actually, roll to see how well you can help them kind of avoid the worst of the sandstorm, leading them through.
Okay.
Using
So,
cover and all the things that you've learned from
still
your
want-
planet.
Survival for that?
It's still a survival check though.
Oh, actually, sorry. I've got a boost survival checks because I spoke to the locals at Mustakai.
Ah.
So I get to roll 1 boost for that. So I'll roll an extra separate boost die.
I
So
got
I'm
2
assuming we wouldn't.
success.
Well, I got nothing. So
2 advantage.
Well, unfortunately, Vic is wearing his goggles, so at least he's not blind. He's just not able to see anything.
Yeah.
It's not like getting
blind,
in your
but he's
eyes.
Blind.
Okay, so everybody who didn't beat out 3 failures, go ahead and take 2 damage
wow.
and 4 strain from a Tatooine's dust storm.
Does that include me?
Except for you. You're
Okay,
you're just
cool.
whatever, because you're leathery skin and completely protected in every way.
2 success, 2 advantage for me guiding everybody home.
Yeah, no, it's not enough to make up for most of your party just getting obliterated by sandpaper
Yeah.
for the next 3 hours of walking, at least. So,
But at least we don't get lost.
but you didn't get lost. You actually did make
Or
it
get
back.
shot by an ATSD.
They missed.
They missed. True Empire style.
So
I feel like I could have commandeered that AT-AT or ATSD.
You have to get inside
Would
first.
you gotta
Someone
land
did
it
it.
first.
That's true.
I feel like this is a conversation on the way back. It's like, what would you do with it?
Could have
I
been
mean,
amazing.
why would you guys get caught in the first place?
So, yeah, the important thing to remember, though, is that they're definitely looking for a Keldor. Matter of fact, it seems like everyone's looking for our Keldor.
Seems like one wanted lady, Gray.
I don't know why.
Yeah, so, you're popular. You got that going for you.
Maybe it's a different Keldor.
Oh yeah, different Keldor.
Mm.
They're just everywhere, right? Just
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
possible. It's possible it's
Hmm.
mistaken identity, but
I don't think it's
You
worth
did.
checking.
you need to replace your cloak there pretty quick, I think.
yeah, probably.
I still vote that we don't check on that fact, if it is you or not.
No.
No. Have we arrived back at the?
Oh, to be fair,
snarky
we do
Sarlacc?
know that I am being. There's a bounty out for me. We had that.
Yeah, because I've Ranger found that the
Yeah.
bounty hunting station.
So, fun times.
Yeah.
Hooray.
So you
Huh?
guys
How'd you
eventually
do-
get back.
How'd you do in the slots?
Oh, I won! And
Oh,
then everything
good.
started blowing up, so we
Yeah.
left.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll get a chance to go back some other day.
Vic should have Jawa juice again.
It was
really?
It was just as good as last time.
And you noticed that you didn't have that impact this time from the come down.
Mm-hmm.
You might be actually getting a little used to it.
No, I'll have to drink more.
Or the huge adrenaline jump may
Or
have
that.
overcome
yeah,
the sleepy.
this is shooting. The running, the shooting, the windows breaking, maybe.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Let's get back. Let's get back. I like to think as we wander in, Ranger shouts out, Edvar, your strongest drink. Make it
Let's-
for him.
Let's go in the back.
I'm just screaming out, my eyes!
Have them delivered to our room. Can we do that?
Somebody's got to go get them. But yeah, sure. So you guys, we'll go ahead and fade, unless there's any more conversations you want to have. We'll go ahead and fade to getting back to. It's been a few hours now. The sandstorm is still. It's getting worse out there. You got to imagine it's going to go through the most of the night. You get to the back entrance to the snarky Sarlacc. You can hear Edvar laughing in the front room as you make your way through that back entrance. You can make it to your room without going through the main hall, or what do you guys want to do? It's been a long day.
Let's tell you what, Cree, why don't you stay out of sight here until we get a chance to check make sure that
Okay.
we're looking around.
Can I get some food brought down? It's been a long day.
Yeah, I'll head up and get some in a minute. Let's just make sure the
Okay.
our room's clear and the corridor's clear, and then we'll head on up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the room and wash my eyes out with hopefully clean water.
Clean-ish.
Yeah,
Can I suggest like a whole shower, kid? Because
yeah, I know.
You stink.
You don't say anything. This was your partner. This is your contact. This is your fault. I blame you.
I do appreciate the backup, though.
Just mumbling to himself.
Ranger's gonna go in and check the room, just make sure no one's been snooping about, and the corridor, and just.
All right. So go ahead. You go into the room. Roll a perception check real fast, just to see if anything's amiss.
3 success.
Oh yeah, everything is where you left it. Your stack of weaponry is still in the corner. The headless droid body is still in there. Everything looks just the way you left it. It's kind of a mess in there. You guys are slobs. All right.
Thanks. The
There's an
voice in my
empty
head
box
tells me
in
I'm a
there.
slob.
So what are you doing?
Let's get into the room. Gonna order some. I'm gonna go and get some drinks and some food. And
I'm gonna shake out the sand from my clothes. Kind of like
Taking a
brush it off.
shower.
Now I'll go up with Ranger and help him carry it down.
You
all
can
right, we'll go get some food quickly and get some drinks.
You head up here.
burn
Rich,
my
you hear a
clothes.
lot of people are inside the bar tonight. It is evening now. The suns have started to go down. Getting out,
It
probably
sucks
getting out of
outside.
the. Yeah, it sucks outside. The sandstorm's terrible. So it's more crowded than you've ever seen it before. There are the holographics displays are now on some local races for swoop bike races that aren't exactly legal, but they're still televised basically across the HoloNet here on the planet. The unexpected sandstorm has made them even more interesting. All you see is really just sandstorms, the occasional like light go off where you assume some swoop biker has just died into a rock side. It's pretty hardcore. And they switched to different like vision modes, so you can see the thermal vision of the swoop bikes going
the
in between
fires?
the ally. Yeah, the fires and the few swoops that are still racing and cutting in between the different rock faces. You see another screen as you two walk in there with with an Imperial logo spinning and a wanted Mos Espa
Enta.
I did it again. Mos Intha wanted, dead or alive, and a huge bounty, and you recognize the face on there of Valtain Ricard, wanted, and then the list of charges start going across, and you see, terrorism is the top one, murder, destruction of Imperial property. The list just kind of keeps going on and on, and that kind of flashes by as you guys get to the bar.
Hey, Edvar.
Hey, yeah, what can I do for y'all? It's a good thing you made it out of that damn sandstorm. It's rough out there today.
Yeah,
I don't think Ranger removes his helmet and just sand just pours out.
Ah,
we got a little caught in it. You got something to cut the dust a little bit?
yeah, showers. And this.
Yeah,
And he
and-
pulls out a bottle and places it in front.
What'd
This
you got
helps.
for food tonight, Edvar?
Oh, well, see here. We've got Dune Lizard Surprise, which the surprise is Dune Lizard. He's got a big smile on his face. This is deep fried on a stick. So that's what we're kind of handing out tonight. Would you like some of that?
Yeah, give us four portions.
4 portions.
Yeah.
Grabs like 4 of these. It is actually like a baby Dune Lizard just on a stick. It's head and all, but it's been charred, and he just like hands it to you, and just here's 4 of them. And then a couple of drinks he sets out, a couple of shot glasses, because the drink that he put up there was some kind of ale, Tatooine local ale. So it shows 2 suns on it.
I'll have got some water. Gotta get some water.
Some water, yeah, I got water. Any nasty looking bottle of water he sets up the top.
Fine. Thanks, Edvar. How much is that gonna set me back?
Not a problem. The whole thing. Let's see here. Since you're my favorite customers, 16 credits will be fine.
Alright. Thanks, Edvar.
Not a problem.
Always a pleasure
Thanks,
doing
Edvar.
business.
Anything exciting happened today, Edva?
Well, not here, but did you hear what happened downtown? I mean, it was crazy. I heard there was
Oh, what
TIE
happened?
fighters getting shot out of the sky, and he kind of like nudges the guy next to him who's just about passed out from drinking too much. It's like there was a whole like rebel battalion, I guess, attacked the Imperial HQ. I don't know. It's chaos. I've heard all
rebel
kinds of
battalion.
rumors here. Did you see? And he points up to the screen behind him, and he's like, that guy right there. That guy right there. I hear he's like a rebel commander or something.
Oh, wow. No, yeah. Well, nothing happened other than the sandstorm. That's the only exciting thing that happened to us today.
Being my ranger doesn't recognize this guy. He's like, what? Oh, yeah, he looks real strange guy.
Roll a
Alright, we'll get
deception
out of your
check.
hair, Edvar.
Hang on, we're gonna roll a deception check against his perception, which I have to find.
Which one, the
Oh,
drunk or
because you
Edvard?
lied.
Edvar, you just lied.
You lied to him.
He's looking, go,
Come on, Vic. Be
Can
deceptive.
Vic lie? Vic cannot lie.
Or advantage.
Oh, alright. Edvar goes, yeah. Yeah, I've never seen him before either. I just heard some rumors. That's all. Anyways, so anything else I can get you guys?
No, I think that's it. Unless you've got, you have any lost and found, like, robes or extra cloaks or anything? I'm afraid that one of them got a little little torn. Some of our stuff got a little torn up by the wind and the sand there.
And he kind of scratches his chin. He's like, yeah, let me. He clicks his fingers a few times, and one of the waitresses comes over and he whispers to her real quick, and she kind of runs off the back. Yeah, we'll see what we've got. A few minutes later, she comes back, and there's 2 robes. One looks like a Jawa's robe, or like a child's robe, super tiny, and then there's one fairly large, brown, simple cloth robe. It's like, these will help you out, though. The sandstorm should be passed in probably 5-6 hours, so you may not need it, but you're welcome to have them if you want. They ain't doing us any good.
No, thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. He goes back.
Ranger, you want to head on down?
Sorry, what was the question?
You gonna head on down, or you gonna drink
Yeah,
a little
let's grab this tray. No, let's get out of here, Vic.
bit? Hey,
Thanks, Advar.
thanks, Edva.
Gives you a little salute and goes back to
Little salute.
waiting on the rest of them. Just a little, tip of the hat kind of thing.
Grab the tray and bring it on down to the rest of us downstairs.
Oh man,
It is rammed up there.
I'm getting good at this whole secret agent stuff.
Ranger just rolls his eyes. Huh. Secret Agent Vic, always on the case.
Hey, I've got a call sign and everything now.
I'm going to share out the food that Advar gave us and the drinks.
He
I
hands
think
out
we need to
these-
catch up.
Yeah, that sounds good. So the first thing you need to know is that I'm now Hydra 1. So whoever else wants to be Hydra 2, 3, and 4, I think that we ought to start using these code names and stuff, because I hear that's what happens, so that you're secret.
Ranger's has dealt with sort of army phrases before, and he kind of looks at it going, Hydra 1? Why Hydra? And why the 1?
Because, you never start at 2.
Who nicknamed you Hydra?
I came up with that. I thought it was kind of cool, mythical beast with multiple heads, and you cut one of the heads off. Maybe that's not the best analogy, to be honest. I didn't think that one all the way through, but I was improvising.
So how did that come about?
That man, the famous man from the television.
Oh yeah, what was his name? What was it say on the TV? His name
I don't know that I need to say that anymore, but you know who I'm talking
Are
about.
you guys back in the room?
Yeah, they're in the
Yeah.
room now.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
walked back in.
Okay.
I handed everyone out food and
Okay.
drinks.
I'm just making sure that
Yeah.
after munching on the dune lizard, a little dubiously.
So that could have all gone better, to be honest.
Hey, nobody died.
That's true.
None of us.
That's true.
None of us died.
So
Let's go
yeah.
for the top.
Screams from the shower.
I laugh
went
and I kind of
lovely.
gesture at Ranger from the top. We were on the roof.
Yeah, about that.
You hear this?
Oh, it was so
you hear this
great. We
scream
used
from the
jump
shower.
jet.
What did you say, Cantios?
It went lovely.
Oh.
Falling out from the shower.
Oh, Vic, we used the jump jet. It was so much fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ranger standing behind us, shaking his head.
Oh, it was so great. Ranger used the jump jet. He got us up onto the 3rd floor. We were aiming for the 2nd floor, but he's really good. So we made it to the whatever floor we ended up on.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I actually used the rope to climb this time, like at the beginning of the climb rather than halfway. It worked out much better that way.
Oh, yeah, that would.
Of course,
that
I
would
did
work
have to
better.
kind of leave it behind, so
Yeah, we had to leave
I have
ours
to get
behind,
another
too.
rope. Yeah. And our guns.
Yeah.
Can't use just hear the word.
We'll have to
rope
get
and
them back
shoves to
tomorrow.
himself.
We can send Sneaky Pants back.
But hey, look what I
You
found.
could send who back to that death trap?
Vic
Sneaky
holds out.
Pants! I
Vic
raised my
holds
voice.
out the E11. Look what I found.
I love the idea that you guys
the
are
11
screaming
blaster.
to the shower as he's in there. Like,
An E11 blaster. Nice. Nice model. Imperial, though.
Yeah, well,
killed the guy that had it.
No, that was the one that I killed. You killed the other one, kid.
Oh,
Shouting this out in our room. No, I killed him. You killed him.
I
It's
killed one of
Tatooine,
them.
to be
Well,
honest.
we are
Nobody
down in the
really
cellar
cares.
too, so
To get Cantus out of the shower quicker, Ranger's gonna go and flush the toilet.
Oh.
Hi, parts again.
Cantius takes 2 strain from the hot water.
Oh.
Roll a resilience check. Cantius.
Was that even under? Oh my god, it's
Giving
under
the GM
blood.
ideas. Giving the GM ideas.
Yep.
Yay!
What have you done?
One success, one advantage.
The water changes to an icy, frigid cold for all of about 4 seconds, and you take 2 strain.
It burns the opposite way now.
Come on, kid, we gotta talk. Come on. Get out of there. Let's throw the towel at him. Come on.
Oh man. All right. I need one of those too, but we can talk real quick first.
Cantius, are you coming out of the shower now?
Yeah. Define coming out of the shower is more like falling out of the shower.
And this is a very small room, and you guys see that Cantius, for Maryland, has no tattoos.
Would we know that that's a weird thing, though?
Cree might, but
I mean, the
Would
every
I?
Maryland that you have ever seen in any of your lives, if you've ever seen one, whether it be in media or in books, wherever you may have seen them, and you may not trigger this immediately, but he has no tattoos.
oh, hey Cree. Oh crap. You need to help him out. Apparently, the sand took all the stuff off his skin.
Oh.
What are you
You've
talking
got
about?
really delicate skin. Can I go over and, like, poke his shoulder?
Kree runs over and just like poking you. What are you poking him with? Just the stick
finger.
from the Dune Lizard,
Yes, the stick from the Dune Lizard.
with bits of the
still got,
Dune
like, the
Lizard like still hanging
Dune
off of
Lizard's
it.
skeleton on it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You've got
Cantus
really
is
delicate
kinda looking
skin
up.
if that sand took your tattoos off.
What? Tattoos? What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
Yeah.
yeah. All the
How
other
much did
people
she
with
have to
green
drink,
skin like
Woods?
you
How
have
much did-
tattoos.
Ranger, how much did you allow her to drink?
She had the whole glass.
Oh my god. You had one job.
I can't say
Okay,
no to that
flush the
face.
Pandora. You had one
This
job.
face that you actually can't see any expression on because of the mask and the
Exactly.
goggles and the.
I watched the basilisk. I made sure he didn't die. I did my
I
job.
didn't die. I poke him
No,
again a
oh,
little
yeah.
bit harder with the stick.
No, you
Right, so
didn't
Vic,
die.
who... Slightly off topic here, but who did you meet?
So yeah, so that guy
Valtane
he's
Valtane.
yeah, no, I know his name.
Oh, you're trying not to say it.
So that guy, yeah. So apparently he's, well, I think in retrospect it's pretty obvious that he's with that Rebel Alliance thing. One of those guys that blew up the Death Star
I'm gonna get
over
bored of
in
poking,
Yavin.
poking Cantios and go back to my seat.
He's one of those
And
guys.
yeah,
Bunch of
yeah.
ragtag teenagers.
Well, they did blow up a big Imperial installation of some sort over in Yavin.
Yeah, but they couldn't get a meeting down right on Tatooine, where meetings happen all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. The meeting didn't go south until they said that, and we were talking. So let me tell you what we covered real quick. So anyway, Adam was the guy that I knew back on Oyum and gave me his contact. So Valtane said that he'd be willing to give us some assistance. He said that the Gray Blades been known were probably the people that were operating that Gozanti cruising that we were on.
Ugh.
And he's got a name for the Toydarian. It says that he's Deg Mog, and he's the bookkeeper for the group. And said that they and a lot of other parties, which included the Imperials, were interested in a Keldor.
But why
I'm
is everyone
guessing
after?
me.
Well,
I don't know.
why?
I don't know.
We know there's a
Well,
bounty.
We
I
didn't.
did kind of leave home under strange circumstance.
Yeah, you are pretty strange.
So what on earth
Yeah.
happened after your meeting? Because all we saw was just stormtroopers pile in.
Well, getting back to the Grey Blades before we get too far away from it, he said that they used to be small-time bounty hunters, but the word on the ground is they're becoming really big quickly, and that they're being bankrolled by somebody, but he didn't know who. Since I'm assuming that's the group that have taken old Graham hostage, and that wants to meet us in what, 2 days now? 3 days?
2.
Yeah.
2 days from now.
In a day.
Mhm.
Today is ended. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have a chance to get some answers, but I'm afraid we're probably going to need some backup. It sounds like this is getting pretty big.
Did you get his contact information?
For who?
For Valtane?
Yeah, I've got his contact,
Nice.
but
Alright.
he's probably going to be laying low here, seeing as he's a wanted man. I did get him as far as the area where his safe house was, and then that's when I split off to come back and join you guys, see if I could help. He was nice enough to give me the comm code for that X-wing pilot that took out that ATST, so that was a good
Oh,
thing.
that was fantastic.
Hope the kid made it out.
How did you guys manage to attract that?
Well, long story short, after the jetpack incident, sorry, the jump pack incident up to the 3rd floor.
There was a lot of fun.
A lot of
But,
fun was had. We got up to the roof.
oh,
He
Vic,
pretty
you'll be so proud of me. I looked at it like you would look at that door because it was locked, and Ranger tried to open it, but he failed. I think he hurt his shoulder. But I figured out that if I take my staff and I could pull the pins out of the hinges, we could get the door off the hinges.
Oh,
Just
very
kinda looks at
nicely
Ranger and
done.
laughs. Couldn't open a door.
Yeah, it
Defeated by
happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Nicely,
like you.
nicely done, little sister.
So there's a dirty glance over to Cantius.
Oh,
So
speaking of
anyway,
which,
back to
here,
the ATST.
yeah, before I forget, Edvar had an extra robe that you could try on here and see if that will help. Maybe keep yourself a little concealed when we go back out on the streets.
Okay, so I'm going to put on the small one. Does it make me look like a Jawa?
It's
I'm
like
gonna
a
pull the hood up.
cape, like a tiny little kid's cape on you.
Oh.
Nah, I'm thinking that that's a little small on you. It may do
Hang
the
on a minute.
opposite.
What about like a headscarf or something just to conceal your face in a sense?
Is it like a robe, like a cape with a hood, or is it like...
It's a whole
imagining,
robe.
like,
It's a like the Jawa one's just far too small, but the larger one is like a full-on robe with a hood. Brown, kind of ratty.
okay.
Yeah, maybe you should
All
try
right, I'll
this
try
one.
the other one.
By the
What do
way,
you think?
Cantius
It's probably-
Cantius is getting dressed, by the way. He's not just sitting there at the towel.
Dripping,
Actually
cold,
getting
jittery.
dressed.
All right, I
Anybody-
imagine this is like way too big, and I'm kind of like swimming in it.
Anybody hurt? Because I didn't actually get shot, but I think I may have lost a couple of layers of skin myself.
I think a good night's rest would do us some good.
Yeah, I've got a couple cuts from that glass.
Glass.
Oh yeah, I dove through a window.
It was pretty badass.
What is this? Mission
Yeah.
Impossible? All you gotta do is leave the
We-
hotel.
God, we are getting so good at this secret agent stuff.
I know, it's so much better than the books.
We should make our own alliance.
Oh,
Right.
spying thing.
I
that's-
called in air support like I was in a military unit or something. You know, like
I'm surrounded by idiots.
I even told them like
I'm
the-
gonna throw
the
this
target
stick
and
at
everything.
Cantios. I'm gonna throw the stick with the Dune Lizard remains at him.
Okay, you
I'm
chuck
going
it.
I'm not trying to, like-
attempt
Not like darts throw it, just kind of like overhand, just like chuck it in his direction.
Okay, you
course.
chuck it at him, Cantios.
I'm gonna try and dodge you.
You easily dodge
This
this
light
softly
range.
thrown dune lizard
I'm gonna
carcass
Look at it.
on a stick.
Great. I'm traveling with the world's most wanted Candor, and she's throwing stuff at me. I have to deal with this.
You do. How was your day? Why were you dangling off that ATST?
I don't want to talk about it.
And why did you stink like a sewer?
Well, I imagine
That's-
that's just because he was in a sewer.
Mm.
Yeah, that was Vic's friend's idea and his
Ah.
fault. I blame him for everything.
But he didn't make you climb on the ATST.
That was my fault.
I mean, that was pretty funny to watch. Just,
Yeah,
I mean,
you
you're
know,
holding
I
on.
didn't I didn't ask my friends to bring an ATST to a blaster fight.
Yeah,
when we don't
what
have
were you
blasters.
gonna do? What were you gonna do hanging off that thing anyway, kid? I was a little confused about that one.
What I was going to do was
I
throw
mean,
the
to be honest, it
flashbang
was
in
really
there.
cool.
I was going to throw the flashbang through the little shutters in the front, and I was going to
Oh,
jump
that
off,
was
and
a
hopefully
good
that would have
idea.
given them enough time.
Well, that would
To
have been
the
great if you would weren't hanging off of one side of it.
Hey, you know what? Shut up.
All right. Well, I feel like we had a big day. I don't.
It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. All right.
So,
We didn't
question is,
die.
did we? Yeah, we didn't die. That was the first rule. We didn't die
great.
today, but and we learned out some more stuff about our opponents. I'm increasingly thinking that these gray blades and brass deadlock and John Rowland are
Oh.
all tied together, and I have a
Oh.
feeling Mr. Valtane might have a role to play in this.
Well,
What
We got
Still a
two
little
issues
high
to
tech.
sort out.
player?
I want to run over and I want to kind of start going through Ranger's stuff. I want to try to find that poster of Brass Deadlock.
Isn't it on my datapad?
I don't know, is it?
I believe it was.
Yeah, it was on your datapad. You downloaded
Yeah, so I
the
can
the
just-
bounty onto it.
All right, so,
I let her sift through the stuff, and I've got the datapad in my hand, just like.
so I'm looking for that picture of the guy.
It's here. It's here. It's here. I got it. I got it.
Oh,
Bring it up, and I bring it on the large, like a large.
all right. And I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna hold it next to Ranger's face
Oh,
and kind of compare
okay.
them. He's not wearing his helmet, yeah?
He's at
You're
the
not
library.
wearing your
Yeah, I thought
helmet?
you took your helmet off to get all the sand out of it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hold it up next to his face, and I'm gonna say, Vic, I know all humans kind of look alike, but what do you think? Do they look the same?
Nah.
What do
Do
you?
they look kind of the same?
This would be Ranger's call. What does your character look like?
Enough? Do they look enough alike?
I think Mr. Deadlock's a bit younger than me, and he doesn't have a scar down his face.
It looks like he's
So what I'm
covered in
thinking-
fire
What do you
and
think?
wax.
As we
agree.
can pretend that Ranger is this Deadlock guy to go to the meetup in a couple of days. We
Hmm.
can, like, pretend to give him to these people.
I'm not liking the sound of this idea.
Yeah.
I'm liking this idea.
I was
Why?
thinking.
Like,
I was
what
thinking.
else?
Maybe. I was thinking maybe we ought to talk to Mr. Rowland and see if we could just actually capture this Mr. Deadlock guy.
I tell you what, we'll make that the backup plan. If we can't find Deadlock, we'll do it.
Oh,
Put a
fantastic.
bag
We're
up-
going to need to get you a new hat.
Well, I was just saying, put a bag over my head.
It is kind of
Oh.
a fabulous hat.
Yeah, but without the hat, we don't have the entire person. It's a big bounty on it.
Hey, John Rowland's quite fancy with hats.
I mean, the hat
Maybe
does.
he knows where to go.
The hat does tie the whole outfit together, doesn't it? I mean, he's got the hat, he's got the the coat, and he's got the bandana, and
cool.
yeah.
backup
Wait,
plan.
does the coat I looted
Look
the
anything like
kitchen
that one.
have anything to look like Mr. Deadlock's?
Though the leathers aren't too off, it is a brown, like a shade of brown. Brass's coat does not have these nasty black feathers, of which I would say 45-50% of them have fallen off due to the crazy driving of earlier and have been like fallen out. So now it's just this nasty matted bit of random feathers around where it used to be like the scarf collar on this thing.
I can trim that off. Easy enough.
We'll make this the backup plan if we can't find Mr. Deadlock.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's definitely like plan C or D or
I'm hearing it's the
G or
plan.
something.
However, gang,
Right?
we're missing something here.
Hmm?
Who's got their weapons here?
Besides, Cree, you know that it's specious to say that all humans look alike. I mean,
Is
they kind
it?
of do, but
They always say that about us.
She asked
No.
me if I was blue.
Wanted to make
No.
sure.
we asked if all humans turn that color?
I asked him earlier today.
We had a couple
Oh.
humans.
He
turn
took his
blue.
helmet off, and I made sure he wasn't supposed to be blue.
Oh, well, okay, fair enough. So yeah, so game plan. I think we need to work on maybe getting all our weapons back. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got some weapons here. We've got a rocket launcher. I've still got the axe. Got this lovely E11, but I'm assuming we'd like to get the rest of our gear back if we can. And
Yeah, if we can.
I'm
Lots of try.
hoping that
That's your gear.
Lady Valerian doesn't associate us with her place getting shot up like that.
Why would
I'm
she?
sure if we go there tomorrow, maybe try.
Although probably not me.
No, I think you probably shouldn't go back there.
But you can have the, I don't know, the slip or token or whatever to retrieve
Yeah, you
my...
can just hand us the key. We'll get your stuff back.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mr. Stealthy Pants over there could go grab it.
Sneaky pants.
Yeah.
Perhaps
yeah.
me and the kid should go, and then while you two figure out how to contact Roland or your friend Valtane.
I don't know if he's a friend yet. I mean, he did help us out with that ATST thing, but on the other hand, we wouldn't have been in that situation in the first place if we hadn't met up with him. So,
And I don't think it'd be wise, Ranger, for you to come with me because I'm pretty sure they got a good look at your armor.
are you going to be able to carry all that? There's a couple of guns there, kid.
I'm
You're
looking
going to
at
look
you,
like a
Vic.
used gun salesman.
I'm looking at you, Vic.
Just like everybody else on Tatooine.
Perhaps kid they didn't focus on me though. They were after Kree after all.
I could actually, since the only person who got really spotted was
Me.
were you two, maybe me and the kid can go pick up the stuff.
And I
Alright.
can just have him wait outside and give him the weapons because, like a pack mule, he'll be able to carry it back.
Vic,
Sounds
you're
like a
my boy.
plan.
I should have slapped him.
So yeah, so we probably need to contact Mr. Rowland though and see if we can maybe get his assistance here. If
Alright,
one
let's get a good night's rest.
he's gonna want in on this whole Grey Blade situation.
We got 2 days, sorry. We're counting tomorrow.
Yep.
It's gonna be a big day tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh, God.
It's not gonna be easy.
Miss Little Sister, you think
Yeah.
you could do like the woo woo jazz handy sort of thing here, and maybe
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
I can.
No, Vic, you're doing it wrong. This is how you do it. I do the handshake like I did in the casino.
No, she doesn't normally do it like that. I mean, I actually haven't seen her do it. So, but
More like
but the
this.
way it was described before, it was a lot more like woo woo.
I'm just
shaky
gonna
shake.
walk up and put my hand on Vic.
Woo
roll.
woo, shaky shake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shake my head and just put my hand on his shoulder.
All right, go ahead and make your roll. This is for using force heal. For everybody who didn't understand what was going on there.
No one else understands the
Here for
reference.
heal for 5.
Heal for 5. Oh, hey, that is nice.
A little bit of like a warm sensation as she places her hand on you, and it radiates out, and you can actually feel some of your wounds begin to close.
Okay.
While they're all doing this, I'm going
Um,
to go look at my box within a box.
Okay.
I'm actually
Alright.
gonna heal myself if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it. Roll again.
Okay. Bloop.
Jeez.
Ba-doop boop. There you go. So, Cantios, you pull out your holocron, holding it in hand. Explain what you're gonna do with it.
Honestly, he doesn't know what much to do with it. The last time he touched it, a voice called out to him in his head, and it called itself a holocron. He has no idea what that is. He knows it's a box that he found within the box that he hated so much. He does know it's labeled as a holocron. Doesn't care to mention that because, quite frankly, he doesn't want to look stupid because he has no idea what that is. So he knows.
I'm gonna go take a shower.
Yeah, she's taking a shower.
So
So he knows when he puts his hand out on it and he thinks real hard, stuff seems to happen.
Stuff seems to happen. So,
That's
are
the
you sitting up
majority
on your
of his-
bed? What do you describe the scene for us?
All right, so everything's calmed down. Kree's gone into the shower. I'm assuming Vic and Ranger are either eating or sleeping.
cleaning the sand out of everything.
Yeah, doing that, and he's going to be just sitting there staring at it. and he's just gonna put his hand over it and like, all right, let's try this again. Thing.
From a logistics standpoint, do we just roll for a strain recovery, a rest?
You guys are gonna rest, so you'll lose all your strain.
Okay.
From a night's rest.
Should I roll the force thing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that, and also roll a discipline check.
Hooray!
Let's see. So you're focusing on the holocron. What'd you roll?
One success, one advantage.
What was the force roll?
One dark side.
Okay. One success, and with all of the events that happened today, you focus on the holocron, and the distractions of the day, and maybe those around you, is pulling away from your ability to focus on it. But for a moment, for just a moment, the lights in the room that you're in actually seem to dim, and for a second, the holocron, a piece of it actually moves, and another piece moves, and another piece, and it like almost a puzzle box, it starts to shift a little bit, and for just a split second, you see a blue image of a man in a robe, and you kind of shake your head, and the box is still in your hand. The lights are just as they were, as if nothing had changed with the box.
By the way, this is scaring the crap out of him right now.
So
what the hell did they put in the Tatoonine water? He's just gonna put it back in his box. He's gonna put it away, and he's gonna say, "Okay, that happened." And he's gonna look around, see if anyone else noticed anything. No one
and from
did.
their perspective,
anyone
nothing has
notice
changed
anything?
other than you're like whipping your head around, looking around, just noticing, seeing if anybody noticed. From their perspective, nothing's changed.
No one else noticed? All right.
Nobody noticed.
I'll be done with my shower, and I'll come out now. Anybody else?
Yeah, Vic's gonna take a turn.
You hear a little whisper that says, "Focus."
Me or her?
You hear it. She's showering. I imagine just singing in there or something.
Some old Keldor nursery rhyme or something.
Yeah. And I think that's probably the best place to end it tonight.
Oh.
It being just about 5 o'clock now, so
Yeah.
we're back.
What an adventure to come back to.
We're back, baby.
Oh, those
We're
rolls.
back.
Are you sure you don't want to leave people on a hangover for a week or two, or?
We'll come back 5 weeks later.
No. I think we'll actually end it at like a narratively easy stopping point instead of like waiting 2 weeks on a cliffhanger. Or 3, however long it was. Good grief.
Getting ahead of it, we're not talking about. We will be back next week.
Yep.
See you Monday.
We will definitely be back. Hope you guys had fun and enjoyed the stream tonight. We normally run until about 5 Eastern Standard Time, so we were
Make sure
back
you do that.
weekly.
Do the donations and stuff before you end the stream.
Right. I don't think we had a... Let's see. Freelancer donated too and asked which one of you was asking for a PM. I believe that was Blitz over on the Discord. Another one before that was Tyranniful asking whether or not you still had your Jawa juice, which she had finished, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the last two. Yeah.
Choked on
Those
the
were
rooftop.
too. So,
All right.
all right,
But,
guys.
if you guys enjoyed yourself, give a like on the video. It helps out a lot, as well as subscribe to the channel for more like this.
And
Also,
don't forget to join the Discord.
Yep.
And remember,
So join the Discord for more people like this.
What was that,
Because
Av?
we're all lovely people.
What'd you say, Abby?
Stop Dorians from drinking.
Oh.
Oh.
Nobody can stop Keldorians from drinking coffee.
All right, later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.